In the mix, in the mix, in the mix, Carlton.
What's good, everybody? We're now in the mix. It's your big dog Kid 6, Chi-Town's finest, Carlton, your dig, and your girl Leah, aka the therapist, is here. Episode 94, ladies and gentlemen. Mixxeners, she's back, y'all. She's back. I know y'all been wondering where she's been at. She's been holding things down. She got to hold the block down. Do you want to talk to the Mixxeners for a bit?
It's you know, the therapist I just having a lot going on outside.
Therapists need therapy?
No, it's not like that. Okay. Just that.
I'm about to say, because you got two certified.
Oh, y'all gonna show y'all asses tonight, right?
We're gonna get into that.
Y'all gonna get into it. But no, the therapists just be busy, y'all. But, you know, I'm here tonight. So.
That's good, man. It's good to have you back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Welcome back, man.
High five. Come on now. You gotta do it the way I do it.
Y'all do that every time.
Okay.
I thought you were trying to get a Jamie Foxx.
PWI.
You know, I'm always going to represent.
PWI.
PWI. Y'all see my face? Man, listen.
I'm representing for all the PWI, the black students who went to the PWI. But shout out to the HBCUs. Is it PWI?
Ain't no but. Shout out to the HBCUs.
Shout out to the HBCUs.
Y'all already know how we hold it down, man. Stop playing. Y'all see the shirt. Y'all see. Shout out to
what
HBCUs.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read it off.
America is mad at black people for saving Black Lives Matter.
For saying Black Lives Matter.
Saying we're mad. We have to say
damn,
it
come
all.
on, girl. You don't know how to read? God damn.
The shirt kind of wrinkled.
It's not even
It's
wrinkled.
not turned over.
It's a glare though.
It is. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So I gotta read it over again?
Go ahead, read it over.
All right, let me read it right.
Yeah.
America is mad at black people for saying Black Lives Matter. We're mad we have to say it at all. Shut up, man.
I'm so sorry, dog. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so
y'all,
sorry.
Y'all know how y'all be having a word in y'all brain, y'all be reading it.
I'm so
y'all,
sorry,
y'all
ladies
know
and gentlemen. But shout out to HBC Apparel, man, holding it down with the black home. I know how we do. Anytime we come on this show, you're going to see us in black home apparel.
So, as a matter of fact,
you know, I can't speak for somebody else. But you know.
You going to share the handles? Where's the shirt from?
I just said it.
I didn't hear you.
HGC Apparel.
Oh, okay.
I said, you heard that, right?
I did hear it.
Aaron, you heard it, right?
I heard that.
All right, cool.
PWI.
Yeah.
So shout out.
Yo, man, another big shout out, man. You know, C just let us know it's Cousin's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you
you
know.
know.
Shout out to my cousin. Happy 32nd birthday to him. May he continue to rest in peace.
Yes, indeed, man. Always. Hell yeah, man. Shout out to Rich King Brand.
Shout out to Rich King Brand.
Shout out to Wine O'Clock.
Well, Wine O'Clock blessing us. It's been a minute.
I know they got something big coming up right now. Yeah, so shout out to Wine O'Clock.
Shout out to Wine O'Clock.
They're not located at Marketplace anymore,
No,
but
they're not.
they left. They're I think they found a new spot. So we'll announce all that info and all of that. But shout out to them still. But you know, we still gonna hold it down with some wine with us from them or not. We got the wine. We got the wine down tonight. So you already know how we get down.
Yeah, it's been a minute for a wind down, so.
It's a good one too.
Yeah, it's been trending.
It's definitely a good one. So looking forward to this. Man, it's the month of July.
It's not a typical wind down.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
not.
kind of like it could have been a round table too, but it's a little bit.
It could have been.
But it was perfect for you know, I felt like it could speak to both men and women. We got
Yeah.
streets here, so. Yeah.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Street certified. Unlike some people. You know, we official out here. We official. But y'all know before we jump into anything, man, we got some what you mixing up. We got some sports news and entertainment that we're gonna dive into. So we actually just gonna get things started for y'all because we enjoy y'all. We appreciate y'all. We 6 episodes away from our 100th episode, which is fucking lit. 100th episode recorded in C spot, man. So shout out to the bro for blessing us, yo. We've been holding it down.
I've been watching a lot of our clips from the beginning to the pandemic.
Yeah.
So now, we got some really good episodes.
We definitely do, man. I feel like we have to. We got to do something special for the 100th episode. We got to talk about some of our favorites.
I have
man.
some.
Man, listen.
Just for this period, just for our.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got some for. Yeah, okay. I got some. I ain't gonna lie. The back and forth between y'all, I gotta pick what episode I really like the most.
Oh
the
my
back
gosh.
and forth between y'all two.
That was a whole 2.5 hour episode.
Facts.
I can't remember what episode it is. Very early in
Hell yeah.
2020. But
We definitely gonna go back. Mixxeners, let us know what's been your favorite episode. Even if you're a new subscriber, man, let us know if you went back and and check us out on the YouTube subscriptions and all of that. Let us know what's been your favorite episode. What else you'd love for us to discuss and more, man. We appreciate the subscriptions. Thank you. We're going to continue to grow. And we're going to continue to bless y'all with some dope-ass episodes like this one this week. So it's time to talk some sports, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on in the world of sports? It's so hot.
So look, right? You say that, but it's a lot that's been going on.
Set the
right?
world on fire.
Set the world on fire. So we're gonna talk about a big trade that took place between the Utah Jazz and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves sending over to the Utah Jazz 5 first-round draft picks, along with key role players, because they are now looking to build around Donovan Mitchell,
Seen that coming?
because they shipped off 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert.
Damn near in a row. Is it in a
Yeah,
row? Might have been in a row.
pretty much. They shipped him off to Minnesota, so he'll now be paired up with Karl Anthony Towns, along with young superstar Anthony Edwards.
You know, we females only know Carl because who he dating?
Jordan Woods?
Jordan Woods.
Right.
Yo, you know it's crazy, isn't it?
Is it for
Yeah,
real?
I was laughing because I was going to say that I thought they was going to know him because he was crying once they got eliminated.
Oh.
He blew a kiss to the fans.
Like he just retired or something.
Nah, but no, there's some women who actually know him because his mom had passed away from COVID. So I think he had spoke out about COVID and taking it serious and getting the vaccination and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, but yeah, man. So that trade kind of like shocked the world. But for those who've been locked into the NBA and everything, if you really look, you could kind of tell when they're ready to, like who they're ready to build around. And it seems as though like the big man will always be the one to get shipped off. You know, we saw it when Penny and Shaq were in Orlando, and Shaq got shipped off to the Lakers. Let's see, who else? And of course, Kobe and Shaq. They traded Shaq away, built around, well, they tried to build around Kobe. They tried to do everything that they could. The NBA still, this was before, I used to rock with Chris Paul before he went elsewhere and then he just became a little bitch. But anyway, before they blocked that trade that was going to go down to send CP3 will really have like 2 rings right now. Maybe 3. If they would have allowed that trade to go down. And now this. What did you think about that trade?
I mean, it's a good day to be in Minnesota. They gave up a lot for it.
They definitely did.
I mean, they was building on something, and now Karl Anthony Towns can be the guy he wants to be without having to worry about just having to stay in the paint the whole game, even though he was good at that. And I like Edwards a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got something to build around. It's going to be cool. As far as Utah goes, I mean, they're trying to restructure the whole thing around Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's accepting of it, but, I mean, he's going to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we're going to see what they're going to do. They're the real ones that's under the microscope.
Right. And they definitely gave up a lot. I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
Giving up the amount of first-round draft picks.
They be all right.
Yeah, definitely will. But we're going to see. This NBA season is definitely going to be an interesting one because last week we announced how Kyrie opted in.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, to stay in Brooklyn, right? He wanted to run it back. But
he opted in.
Guess who doesn't want to run it back? Kevin Durant.
See, when I so mean when I think of Kevin Durant, I just think of Peasy.
That's messed
That's
up.
not nice.
That's
I know it's not nice.
You talk to everybody can't have,
what,
the
nice
structure.
hair?
No, structure of hair. Right?
It's not, but everybody has
texture.
nice hair. Remember we had this conversation? You just need to brush it.
Yeah, we had this
I'm
conversation.
being
and
sarcastic.
we
I
said,
know you
yeah.
need to brush it. What I'm
We
saying.
But nah, don't do that. Don't come for
That's
my
not-
man.
no, I'm
Because if
not-
we come for women who have bad hair, this is y'all know how we are.
No,
So don't come for
no.
my man. 'Cause
Any woman or man who's not keeping their hair maintained, you can come for. Is that fair?
how you know he keeping it? He might be keeping it maintained.
No,
We-
he's
we
not.
also-
If you as a barber see, you know he not
Yeah,
keeping
I
it
know.
maintained.
You ain't gotta be a barber to know that.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, but as a barber, I super duper know that.
Yeah.
More than most people.
I know
What do you
I know
need
what
to do other
pisses
than
you
brush
off
it?
too.
I mean, what's that little scalp treatment? Never mind. Let me not even get started on that.
You don't need to, because
He
I
just
need
need
to
to
put the, y'all,
He just need to hoop.
let me tell y'all real quick. Your
He
man's
need to-
Carlton over here, he is not. S-H-I-T.
She-
I really
she
learned
needs to say the
this
word.
Right.
in the
She didn't say
shit.
the word.
I learned this over the weekend. He is something else. People
This
don't
is
know.
beyond me. I don't know what y'all talking
He
about.
had us cracking up in the group chat. So I
Man.
would say, he ain't shit, y'all. He
They
ain't
on their own
shit.
now. I don't know what they talking about.
Carlton come off real humble. I'm telling y'all, it be
Hey.
the ones. But anyway,
Man, listen,
That's crazy.
listen,
Beyond.
man, oh man.
Beyond.
Oh my gosh, but yeah,
it's
so
sick note.
yeah. Anywho, Mixxeners. Yeah, so you know, KD, he wants out. He wants to be traded. But Kyrie did opt in to stay in Brooklyn, but Kyrie also still wants out. So he's trying to find a way
At least he
to get
stayed.
traded. But
So where's KD headed?
Kyrie just stayed because of money.
I mean,
Yeah.
If he would have gone anywhere else, he would have gotten
Lost
paid
out.
like $30 million less than what he would be getting paid.
Right.
That's a jump.
now where's KD going? You really don't
They
know.
said Miami, somebody, maybe it was
He
Troll
gave
or
some
the Golden
options.
State, but
No, it's
They-
not a troll.
He gave some options, and apparently there's some people that, of course, people are going to make offers because it's Kevin Durant.
right.
There's options that he said, though. He said Phoenix, he did say Philly, he also said Miami.
Yep.
But now people are saying Golden State might try to be in the mix.
I think Toronto wants to be in the mix, but
Toronto.
they don't really have a lot to give up.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
what
well, they have a lot to give up.
you have to
but-
basically give up the
Yeah.
entire roster.
You have to give a lot of
Some
their
draft
roster,
picks.
a lot of their draft picks,
Some of their fan base.
some of their fan base.
OVO.
And
OVO.
Drake.
Drake's new album.
Right.
You gotta give up a lot to get them, and then
Hell
Brooklyn
yeah.
gotta accept it. They gotta be like, all right, we'll take that. And
Right.
then KD gotta be like, all right.
Hey, Brooklyn may
I wanna
take
go
OVO
there.
and Drake from the album.
I mean,
Nothing
I would
else.
take OVO and Drake's for you. That means-
Now,
What
Okay.
you mean? I'll drop an album this weekend.
I have a question for you. As a basketball head, right? You are a
Yeah.
basketball head. You did this. You know, I retired after my 5th grade year. We went undefeated, won a championship. I came out of retirement in middle school, but then
What are we talking about?
and then I was just like, you know what? I gotta go back into retirement, man, because these dudes.
Put the Jordan,
Yeah, pulled the Jordan. You know, came back.
wearing the 4 or 5.
Yeah, you know, then I had to switch on them right quick to the 2-3, let them know. But do you feel as though KD cannot lead a team on his own without another caliber superstar next to him?
Something in question.
Let me say this about KD, because it's almost. I want to break that question down into 2 parts.
Why is that?
Why do I want to break it down?
Why
But
is
why?
that? No, did you see the?
Oh
did you see the
yeah.
clip of- Why is that?
Chris Broussard, he acted like he had this real profound thing to say, and then it was just like, oh, they just want to weigh their trade options. And it's like, bro, come on, you just did this OD build up. Get out of here. They rebuild it, bro. That's all you have to say. But so Kevin Durant is a very, very skilled basketball.
Oh, of course.
Mentally, he's the kind of basketball player that just wants to go out there and play basketball and be nice, and that's it. That's it. He don't want to care about leading people. He don't want to care about none of that. He just want to go out there and hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, okay, cool. But we know, y'all know, when you are that caliber of great, a lot of things are expected of you.
Yeah.
So now, do I think that he needs a superstar? I feel like he feels like he does. I personally don't think he needs one. At this point, though, he's also like 34, so I don't even think it's in his.
Is he 34, man?
Yeah, he's born in like 88.
Mm.
So he was, he say he look older. Is it because of his hair? Anyway, so he, listen.
See y'all? You see
I
what I'm
thought
saying?
y'all the one that said, you said it, listen.
Yeah, but you said, you know what?
But you know
Because I
why?
thought that was
You
what
know
you
why
said.
you said he look old?
I wasn't even thinking about his hair.
Yes, you were.
He was definitely.
He just looks older.
Oh,
Why?
That's because don't be projecting because y'all was thinking about his hair.
Not projected.
I just want to give him a cut, and that's
He look older than 34.
KD, listen, if you want a fresh cut, come to the GO.
it. Listen, man, I
Come
will
to
get
the
you
GO.
right.
If
I
you
will
ever
get
get
you
in the
right.
mix, come
But
to
I
the
didn't know
GO.
he gotta get a little road game.
I
or
will
something.
get you right.
Look,
I will not do
my
you
man's will
wrong.
get him right.
How you gonna cover the
I will
spot?
get you right, and I will not do you wrong. I have
okay.
my ways, no enhancements here.
Okay.
But the point that I'm making though is
Okay.
that I think that he doesn't like the responsibility of having to lead. This is why I think he liked it in Golden State a lot, because he didn't have to lead, but he also got to still play the role of being the guy.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't even got to ask for the ball; they're gonna give me the ball. That to me sums up his whole personality. Because he played with him playing with Westbrook and James Harden, even though it was before James Harden hit his like peak or whatever. He had stars, he had a team, but him having to lead in a certain kind of way was something that's just not in him.
So I got a question real quick. Are we gonna give KD the same heat we give LeBron?
I mean,
In
we can
reference
try.
to jumping teams.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see it as much as Lummy. I know.
Oh no,
LeBron
he gets it. He
his
gets
fans
it.
are a little annoying. A lot annoying.
He's also not the same caliber of LeBron.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's close enough. So I mean,
I
Yeah,
think the energy should be the
Do
same.
you laugh when you hear? Because I know for me, I laugh because I sit back and I'm like, y'all act like the Golden State team before they had KD didn't win the championship.
Right. It was good.
Right?
Interesting.
So they're like, oh, Steph needed KD. Did he? He didn't. When you really think about it, like he did not. Even if KD wouldn't have went to Golden State, when you really think about it, has been running the West for the last
since like 2015.
yeah.
It's like
That's
8
like
years.
5
And
yeah.
even when they had a cold comeback.
Exactly. So I mean, right, you gotta think about it. This team last year, they didn't have a healthy Draymond, they didn't have a healthy Klay Thompson. They lost in the elimination round, I believe.
Damn. So wait, check it out. So
The year before that,
after the 2019 season when they lost in the finals and everybody went down. 2020, they have the worst record in the NBA.
yup,
2021, they
elimination.
Yup.
Yeah, look at that. Now
They got eliminated in the play-in against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
2022
Championship.
That's a hell of a turnaround.
That's
Right.
what I told you. They had a cold comeback.
So this team actually knows how, like, what championship winning is without
They
having to go
DNA.
out and have
They have the DNA.
another superstar caliber player on the team. Like they know what it takes. So I don't know.
That ain't KD.
It's not. It's really not KD.
That ain't KD.
As much as he goes out there and he talks and he has his 2 final MVPs and all of that, but he needed them
Yeah.
more than they needed him.
He's a very
Regardless of if Draymond went out there and made a call to have him come.
I gotta remember. A lot of people don't remember this, but Golden State was already inquiring about Kevin Durant from February 2016.
Yeah,
Before Draymond ever.
Yeah.
Just because they were going to be able to afford them, and it was a very lucky situation because Steph Curry bloomed into a superstar under a extension. It was a 4-year, $44 million extension. So he was only getting paid $11 million a year.
Yeah.
Of course, after that, he's getting like 50.
right.
So let me ask y'all, why did KD even leave Golden State? And why did he leave Brooklyn?
I can give you one. Well, I know
Golden
he left Golden State because of like legacy matters. The same reason why LeBron left Miami. Like you get that monkey off your back of people saying you can't win a championship, and then you get 2 Finals MVPs. But then it's like, yeah, we know you had a lot of help getting that for both of them.
Yeah.
So LeBron's like, well, let me go back to Cleveland and do it because Cleveland is Cleveland. And then KD is like, well, let me just go somewhere else and do it. And
Clearly
then
didn't do it.
it didn't work.
The only way KD can really clear up his name is if he goes back to OKC, bring them a championship.
I agree with that.
That's the only way he
I
can
agree
clear
with
his
that.
name.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way.
You can do that.
I agree.
Because other than that, even if you want to go to Phoenix, you got to think you got to come up off something nice. We don't want CP3. Y'all gonna have to give us D Book. DeAndre Ayton, he's a free agent, so it's not like he could be added in there right now. So y'all gonna have to give up some nice pieces in order for you to get him.
If they want to keep Book, they got to give up everything.
Yeah, hell yeah. So we gonna see, man. I don't see Kyrie or KD in the Brooklyn Nets uniform before the season starts, and if I do, it'll be a surprise. But more than likely, before the trade deadline, they might be shipped off. Might be.
I can see it that way for Kyrie for sure. Because what happens is, as the season goes on and he starts to get paid some of the money he's owed, it's less money that's like on the table. So if you like trade him, it's like, well, now his contract, it ain't $36 million no more. It's only like 20 left. Or something. Niggas can move. They can maneuver that way easier than a full 36. So
Right. That's very true. So we definitely gonna pay attention. We'll keep our eyes out because you know the Lakers were definitely like at the top forefront to inquire about Kyrie.
They were.
But even if not, you know the plan B, it still looks as though the Lakers are still eyeing Buddy Hield from Indiana. So we can see what happens with that.
Because as of recently, it's not a lot of traction in that Kyrie deal because if they are going to trade him there, especially in this Kevin Durant situation, it kind of just made it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn would have to agree on whatever the terms are. And if it ain't up their par, like they damn near going to want like Ed Davis or something like that, or like 6 people or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we gonna see.
We definitely going to see.
Those you guys. We gonna see.
Moving on to some news. It's still free Brittany Brown. All right. And as of July 1st, she had her first trial. She also posted a letter to bum ass President Biden.
That's CU best friend. That ain't Trump no more. You gonna Trump.
Nah, you know what? Because I feel as though, like, even though we don't rock with Trump, I feel like Trump
Why
would have
was
had
you
her
saying
home by
Trump
now.
would have had her home? Why?
Yeah.
I see this a lot. Why are y'all saying that?
He brought ASAP Rocky home. Remember, ASAP was locked up over in another country. Where was he?
But it also was different. Wasn't it different charges? I mean, they really taking this vaping.
I think it was the same charge, just a different country. Like it was like something to do with him having some weed or something like that.
I feel really bad for her though. Like I feel horrible. That was actually what I wanted to say.
Yo, she's been detained over there for about like over 130 something days. That's ridiculous.
And she's facing 10 years, and she's gonna have to be in jail for the next 6 months while this trial goes on.
Which is crazy.
She
That's
wrote
really
a letter.
crazy. Yeah, she wrote a letter. Shout-Out Finance got some details on
I
that.
got some details. I'm gonna read y'all some snippets from her letter. She says, as I sit here in a Russian prison alone with my thoughts and without the protection of my wife, family, friends, Olympic jersey, or any accomplishments, I'm terrified I might be here forever. On the 4th of July, our family normally honors the service of those who fought for our freedom, including my father, who was a Vietnam War veteran. It hurts thinking about how I usually celebrate this day because freedom means nothing. It means something completely different to me this year. I realize you are dealing with so much. This part is directly at Joe Byron. I realize you are dealing with so much, but please, no, Byron ain't shit.
He ain't either.
But please don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home. I voted for the first time in 2020, and I voted for you. I believe in you. I still have so much good to do with my freedom that you can help restore. I miss my wife. I miss my family. I miss my teammates. It kills me to know they are suffering so much right now. I am grateful for whatever you can do at this moment to get me home. And I also just seen that a little bit less than an hour ago, they said that her note was delivered to the White House and that Joe Byron has read it. So
he has
now,
not responded.
not yet. At least
Not
she only
yet.
read it like an hour ago. So not even an hour ago, actually. But some more details on her situation. So the way that they do things over there is different. Here in America, it's innocent until proven guilty, quote unquote, because no, the fuck it ain't.
Definitely not.
But over there, it actually is not innocent. It's guilty until proven innocent. And even then, it's like they have like a 99% conviction rate. So pretty much, if you get arrested and go to jail over there, you're guilty. They're just pretty much there to determine
You did that shit.
a sentence.
Basically.
Yeah, they're like we know if we arrested you, then we know enough to have you here. So we just trying to determine how long we're gonna have you.
So you gotta do the due process, but it's the same.
It's not even a due process. It's just like a sentencing part. Like okay, but the thing that's making the sentencing like prolonged is because she's not Russian. She's American, and so they have they're trying to reach an agreement with America to bring her and some other American detainees home. But this shit is like a movie, by the way. Y'all ever seen the movies where it's like, well, we got one of y'all people and you got one of our people, so we can make a swap, but we want to swap her for this particular person. So there's like a Russian arms dealer that's in jail in America. He's serving like 25 years or something like that. And Russia's like, we'll give you Brittany back if you give us him.
you already know there's some diabolical mastermind behind this.
It is because I mean he's a Russian arms dealer, so we don't know
Yeah.
what in the hell he was doing or what he got arrested for here. And I know Joe Biden probably like, bruh,
We call that man Byron.
yeah, like, he probably like, nah, like we'll give you somebody else, but we can't give you him because he knows too much or he's gonna help you with this or you know it's politics with this.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's been over there for 0.7 grams of like a vape cartridge, weed in the vape cartridge. So like, at this point though, you know everybody's been showing a lot of support for Brittany Griner. No matter how much support we all show, it is all on the shoulders of Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta, it's up to him. If he don't do what he's gonna do, which I'm not too hopeful that he will.
I don't know. It's looking a little ugly.
I don't see
'cause
anything,
he
but
been
we still
doing
want
much.
to keep screaming free BG. So
Free BGs.
Free BG.
bring her back, man. More wild news that took place on 4th of July, Independence Day. As y'all can see why I did that. Can't be independent when you're trying to have restrictions on women's bodies.
And
What
yes,
you know. But you know. So 3 killed, 7 wounded.
Was this the one
At
in
a-
Chicago?
No, this was the one at a Indiana block party on 4th of
Okay.
July. Yeah. You know, scary looking white guy who was apprehended by the police.
Sean, your ass is tonight.
You know, all he did, he was just arrested
That's the Chicago one.
and just innocent.
Okay.
Huh?
That's the Chicago one.
That where he was apprehended like that? You sure?
The guy. That guy.
The scary
yeah.
looking one?
Yeah. The black
Like,
party
really?
person. The black party person is still. He's still
At large?
Yeah.
In Indiana?
Yeah.
He's still at large?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the one in Chicago,
Is the white guy.
funny looking alien dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't shit either, but okay.
But yeah, this is just sad, man, because you have a shooting that takes place in Chicago, right? 4th of July.
Alright.
And lives were taken, and here you just arrest this kid.
Can I say something real quick?
You sure can, cause I.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
It's
That
okay.
wasn't Chicago.
That wasn't so
It's
it
the
wasn't
suburbs. No,
Barely.
it's-
It's not even a suburb.
So you gonna say Illinois?
Highland Park is 30 miles north of Chicago.
Okay.
You know how people do this association thing?
Yeah.
Where it's just like,
Pittsburgh
oh,
gets that shit too.
yeah,
so
like
yeah,
it's far. It's very far from
Boston
Chicago.
had to make it known.
Because people just make
It
it so
ain't
you know when it's like, oh, it's
Chicago.
Chicago, then everybody like, oh, they always wild. Now it makes us look
But
bad,
it was pretty
and it
much
has
like-
nothing
like
to
how
do.
she's from the county. But she
That's
got
like
it
if
from
something
Baltimore.
happens in freaking Frederick, Maryland, or some shit like that, and they like, oh,
Like
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
You
Yeah.
gonna be
I
like,
mean,
bro,
I know
that's
here's my
not
thing. I
Baltimore.
felt it specifically where you're speaking of. I mean, it's condolences to the lives that were lost.
Right, right.
But it was their own people. And the shooter was white, so I'm just saying they want to have all these restrictions.
I mean, I thought that he celebrated the 4th of July the way that America would. I mean, killing people and shit. Ain't that what they do in
Just
the country?
unfortunately, he took his own people. I mean, I don't know. Did they say the victims? Because they look like a bunch of white people in the crowd. So I'm
He
just,
was.
and it doesn't make it right.
21
I'm
years
just
old,
saying.
killed 7 people, shot like 29 other people. I mean,
Doesn't make it okay.
he was apprehended.
Doesn't make it
very-
okay.
Right.
Very nice.
Very nicely. Oh yeah, hey, can you just get on the ground and just put your arms behind your back? Yeah, sure. You want some water while you're at it? Like, I promise you, like, let a black person try to do a mass shooting.
He
Let a
fired.
black person
Did
do a
y'all,
mass
as a
shooting.
matter
Matter
of
of
fact, did
fact,
y'all see?
in Ohio, where
And
the
I had
cops,
a different one.
Oh.
I think it was in Florida in Walmart where she had the knife, and the officer told her like 10,000 times to put the knife down, and then he finally tased it. He had his gun out first, but then he ended up tasing her.
no,
Did y'all not see that?
no, I didn't see that, but
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
There's been something that's been circulating around. Sean King actually had posted it, and black man was killed by police officers, probably shot like maybe 60
I wanted
sometimes.
to bring it up.
Okay, yeah. I almost forgot about that because I made a post about that. And it's just like, yo, this is ridiculous because when you hear cops talk about, you know, why they shot first, or it's always, well, we thought he had a gun. you know, or we fear for our
So
life.
then, when you hear that rhetoric, you like, so what about the mass shootings? You know
Right.
they have a weapon. What's
Yeah,
going on?
and you know, like with them doing these mass shootings, like they had a plan. This is what they're doing this.
Right,
That's for
intended.
that sole purpose. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, just think about it. Just a couple weeks ago, was it out? You had folks driving to Idaho
Not Mississippi.
from right, driving to Idaho.
From all over the goddamn place.
To go and kill folks during the LGBTQ parade. Like I just don't. They had a plan. They clearly don't like folks who's part of that community.
Right.
So they had a plan. These mass shootings are thought out. They're hate crimes.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have cops to where it's just like, oh yeah, well, you know, I fear for my life. He had a gun in his hand. Meanwhile, it's a cell phone or a brush.
Speaking of, because we cannot let this part go by without speaking about Jalen Walker, the 25-year-old man in Akron, Ohio, where 8 cops fired about 90 bullets at him, hitting him about 60 times throughout his entire body, face, legs, arms.
Say the number of cops again, see?
8 cops, 8 Akron, Ohio police officers
8.
fired about 90 bullets. There's a video of it. It's very gruesome to watch. Don't watch it.
It's
I
still on.
Don't even listen to it because they're shooting for like 10 seconds. Like it's like 10 seconds of all gunfire. You hear a police officer saying ceasefire like 3 times before they finally stopped. They pulled him over apparently for a traffic violation, which he probably didn't even do anything. He was a DoorDash driver. He was unarmed and he was murdered very brutally in cold blood in Akron, Ohio. 90 bullets.
I can't even fathom I can't fathom that.
60. He got hit.
Can you
60.
imagine?
8 officers. 60 shots to one man.
It was 90 shots. He got hit 60 times.
Yeah.
The other part to just wrap y'all heads around is that's 30 bullets. So
So it's
unaccounted
flying,
for.
yeah.
Where did they go? What if they would have shot
Ricocheting
somebody
and
else?
stuff
And
like, yeah.
all kind of. He
For
got hit
what?
60 times all over his
So I,
body.
really,
For
I
what?
truly want to follow this case. This one is a different one. This is just a little, just different.
I want to follow this case, but I also feel like we're just going to be, as the black community, I feel like we're going to be let down once again.
I mean,
we're going to be
yes.
upset because those officers, they're going to get let off. They're going to get let off. They're going to get laid off. I mean, they're not going to get laid off. They'll probably get suspended or something without pay.
Sad is not even, it's an understatement to say.
But yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
unfathomable. Honestly.
Definitely sending our prayers out to the family because, I mean,
You can't handle funeral, man.
right. What?
You can't handle funeral.
Are you serious?
There's no way to cover. That's just.
That's. Ain't no way.
Or if it is,
Ain't
it's
no
gonna be
way.
a closed casket because it just.
Ain't no way.
You said the face too everywhere, like it's.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally all over his body. 60 shots all over
Like,
his
that's-
body.
that's
His
just-
face, his head, his back, his neck, his legs, his arm, his torso.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And no matter what, us being black, we're always the ones. We're always the aggressors.
Yeah.
They always fear for their life against us. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'm talking like it's just so crazy how
This always seems to happen.
he was trying to get away
Mhm.
and they were chasing him. It's 8 cops. He was trying to get away because he already knows what time it was, and they did exactly what he thought they was going to do. And they brutally now. And then you got, like you said, shit like the guy in Highland Park. He was leaving trails all over the place that he was about to do something crazy. All over the place, but that goes under the radar. But an unarmed DoorDash driver, y'all gotta shoot him 60 times.
It's sad. You don't have any answers for it. It's
You
just,
don't.
It's just
And the crazy part is that, like, no matter what, even if you tell us to do, and again, it's always like, you tell us to do something, we do it. You still get aggressive with us. You still have a gun pointed at our face. You still want to take a life for what? We listen to you.
yeah.
You feel real tough because you have a gun in your hand. Majority of these police officers are so pussy without a gun, taser, a nightstick in their hand.
I really.
They don't know how to. They don't. Without those weapons, they are so.
But that's the whole point. Why
Pussy.
are they even resorting to using their guns in the first place.
Because they're pussy.
No, I know.
Like,
Yeah,
That's
but
what
I'm
they talk.
just saying, like,
That's what they talk.
That's-
Which is why I feel like we don't need to have police officers. They are taught the word. Oh, after they lit him up, they handcuffed him.
What?
They handcuffed him. This is why I say they don't need to have police. Their reason for handcuffing him is to make it look like they didn't know that they just overkilled this guy. Like, oh, maybe he's still alive. We're just going to make it seem like
No, I
he's
hope
still
that-
doing.
I hope
They
that
do it all the
did not
time.
think that.
They do it all the time. It's just like when they kill somebody that they was like choking out or something like any one of these fucking things. And then when they dead and they still tell them stop resisting and cuffing them, it's like you can see if you're a police officer and you can't tell that a person is dead, you don't need to
I
be a
mean,
police
after 60 shots, one will
That's what I'm
assume
saying.
that
You
you
gonna
dead.
act like you don't know that this man is
Yeah,
dead and
like,
you still
come
put
on
cuffs
now.
on him?
and this is exactly why we don't fuck with police.
I mean, I get it.
Like, this is exactly why. Exactly why. What are you good for?
Listen,
Seriously, what are you good for? As a police officer, what can you really
If you
sit
guys
down?
had children and your son and daughter said they want to be a police officer, how would you feel?
That's a long discussion. I would really have to be like, why? I would really have to sit down. I have to pull clips up like, yo, this is what you really want to do?
I'm literally gonna try to convince the nigga otherwise.
This is what you really want to do. Because you are now a target.
It
Yeah.
sucks how flawed.
You are now a target because
That's
folks don't
it.
like y'all.
Yeah.
It's
At least
flawed.
our specifically community,
Yeah.
which is going to affect them.
Quick sidebar too. The guy that shot the shit up in Highland Park. Y'all wanna know how he escaped?
What do you do?
So for one, he had a lot of weapons. He had some weapons in his car. He had the weapons on him, his rifle and stuff, and he went to some random building, put a ladder up there, got on top of the building, and just started shooting shit up. And then after he did it and everybody scattering, he went down and dropped his rifle, took off some of his clothes, and he just blended in with the crowd and got away.
I mean, that's
And
smart,
of course,
though.
we know to police officers, white people don't look like suspects to them. So
Fuck.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, I ain't going. What
He
he
just
did was
ran away.
crazy, but that was smart.
he just ran away, walked to his mom's crib, took her car, and got up out of there. It was
Wow.
real easy for him. But Jalen Walker, he looked suspect, delivering food for DoorDash, 60 shots.
Gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
Happy 4th of July, right?
Happy 4th. I mean, I can say though.
And this is Independence Day for you, ladies and gentlemen.
For us in the community, I can say I've seen very little 4th of July posts or cookouts. So people wasn't really jacking with it.
We don't
This
fuck
shit,
with it.
So
But I mean, black folks still wear lighting fireworks though.
they was like that. Yo.
Y'all gotta chill out. That's still celebrating for real. When you really think about it, you still participating. Even if you ain't having a cookout, you still participating lighting fireworks on 4th
They
of
all
July.
to say they being a little badass and just having excuses. Like,
Hell no.
They was
Do it on
doing
July 3rd. Light fireworks on June 19th. Light them on
For
Juneteenth.
real.
Light
I
the
mean,
fireworks
yeah.
on
I think
Juneteenth.
Yeah.
you gotta start
We
doing
gotta
that.
post
'Cause
that.
I like blowing shit up. I'm a fire sign. I got a bit of pyromania. just a touch. It's just a little bit,
Yeah,
Give-
because they
give
was
me a reason
they
to
was
blow
doing
some
it
shit
till
up.
1
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning. Like, all right, y'all. so
Give me a
we're
reason to
good.
blow some shit up. I'm gonna take it.
Word. So
But I can say I see very little.
So that's good, man. Black
Yeah.
folks, we sticking to something.
Mm-hmm.
We sticking to something. I love it. So we gotta keep it up.
Now there was some black people that were still participating with the cookouts, but we doing a little better.
That's a fact. You had a glizzy? You shut a few glizzies down?
I did nothing yesterday.
Oh, you ain't getting no glizzies?
No, I worked.
Yeah.
Made some money.
You eat glizzies though?
What are glizzies?
Hot dogs?
Hell no, Presbyterian.
I forgot you were Presbyterian.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You gotta get religious on me.
Y'all, no, actually, y'all's.
How you don't know what a glizzy is? Oh, yeah, I forgot you from the county.
Yo,
PWI.
nobody should be eating glizzies, hot dogs. Like, there's
It's the
a
same
lot
thing.
of whatever.
It's the same thing.
Listen, Linda, it's a lot of bad shit in hot dogs. So stop eating them. Stop eating hot dogs. They're really not good for you. It's like pork. Look it up. I'm telling you. It's like all the animal remains and parts and stuff. They just grind it up and
For real?
like a bologna, Y'all eat bologna?
No?
Y'all still ain't know. There's some people that do. But you too good for bologna?
I don't eat that shit.
So hot dog, no, it's not. It's just like bologna.
You look like you eat bologna.
I don't eat that shit.
You definitely had a sandwich today.
I did.
Bologna sandwich today.
Tell me, y'all. Don't eat it.
Moving on, man. So y'all know last week we C and I we touched on the Roe v. Wade overruling, and of course we was going to have a little bit of the continuation
Yeah.
with your girl Leah because we definitely wanted to get her take on it. So I'll give you the floor.
First, I want to say, gentlemen, y'all did a great job holding it down. Y'all really touched on a lot of points of
Appreciate
why
it. We street certified. That's what we do.
Roe.
I'm
Shut
trying to
up.
tell y'all. She acts so surprised.
Roe v. Wade is
HBCUs hold it down, baby.
it's horrible. Oh, he's mad hyped. But I really wanted to get some like more so stats. Really, I looked up and did a little research of why it's just this whole overturn and just to see. Well, I don't know if you guys heard. Actually, Florida now is fighting for like they still have this 15-week ban in place, so women cannot get abortions after 15 weeks. It is banned. So they still try to fight against or that state law. Good luck, it's Florida. I'm surprised they didn't ban it altogether, but states are already getting it going. So these are some of the points I just wanted to say for you guys. So as you said, Steve, talking about the states, be very mindful about the states that you guys live in and their regulations, because they say nearly 24 states are likely to ban abortions, or of course y'all know, strictly restrict access. So you also have 13 trigger laws that will ban abortion almost immediately. So some of them southern states, y'all all know, probably your favorite,
Mississippi.
probably have already banned it. I don't know. We know here right now in Maryland, as you mentioned, see it.
Did you say banned it?
Banned.
Damn.
Banned.
That's that PWI shit right there,
Ban abortion. So, but Maryland is protected. Of course, you guys know California, New York.
Yeah.
Some of the more progressive states are protected.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really want to get into the maternal health of why this whole restriction the ban is terrible. They say research suggests that the bans and restrictions will be a manifold on maternal health. So, this is, for example, if more pregnant people can't get the abortion they seek, they should risk the risk of the. Wait, this one had a typo. They should have it is. But what's that say? Should the risk of the U.S. relatively high and
That
rising.
they shoulder.
Hey, who man's is this? Oh, man's
They show
is
the risk
this?
of U.S. relatively high and rising rates of death from pregnancy-related causes, which is particularly elevated amongst people of color. So you guys know. But Chuck is They show the risk.
Whose man is this?
They show that the risk of U.S. relatively high and rising rates of death from pregnancy-related causes, which is particularly elevated among people of color. So we guys know that people of color, our young folks, LGBT, they are all amongst the races and demographics that are severely affected by this overturn. So I wanted to make that point. And you guys mentioned that last week too. So they also said that in addition, pregnant people will face the risk of persecution for seeking to end pregnancies in states where abortion is banned, and research has shown that unwanted pregnancies have many harmful long-term consequences for mothers, including a higher chance of financial hardship and a severe toll on mental health. So also kind of touching on that point too, most women who have like unwanted pregnancies, they said they are at higher risk for severe mental health deficiencies. So you definitely have to be mindful of that too. Of course, we have like financial hardships.
Right.
Their lack of resources. Just particularly even single mothers have this. It affects them as well. So this is another reason why just alternative. It's just so many things that's wrong with it. But I also want to get into the mortality rate. So they said the mortality rate in 2020 was 23.8 deaths per 100,000 live births. So this is the highest it's been since Roe was overturned, and this is far higher amongst Black people, which is 55.3 deaths, which is nearly 3 times the rate for white people. So we know, of course, like I said, it's bad enough for medical care amongst the people of color already. We're at a deficit. So our counterparts are really, I mean, for perhaps for poor white folks it may affect, but particularly folks of color, as the state is going to be 3 times that rate.
Mm-hmm.
So
It almost makes you look like, was anything really put out there for us to like be comfortable with? You know, healthcare. All they look at us is just like for sports, rap, and all of that. But it's just, it makes you sit back and think like, damn, do y'all want anything good for us in life?
I mean, you gotta think about how this even started.
I mean, yeah,
We were seen as people at one point,
right.
you know.
But it's
So-
just like, god damn, it's just shit. It sucks. It really sucks.
They also said too that unintended pregnancies are at a higher risk for medical complications, which can extend beyond once the baby is delivered. So no one actually thinks about all of the, kids who may have like Down syndrome, autism,
Mm-hmm.
or some of those other type of cognitive dysfunctions.
Right.
Again, there are studies, and not studies, they're tests that can show that this can happen, to your child, and they're like, okay, well, if we can't have abortion, then we're kind of forced upon to have these, and not everybody can, there's the thing, it takes a lot of patience, and bless all the parents who have kids with these conditions, because it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy. So
Definitely not.
some people can say, well, you can get help, but we're not always offered the resources. The resources aren't available,
Mhm.
or again, it costs a lot of money. Of course, they don't have that, so they are. I could just imagine what that's not only like for the parents, but the child,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Right.
what's another point they had here? Oh, okay. So there was also a finding of a 5-year research project, and it stated that they looked at 1,000 women who sought out abortions across 30 facilities in this group, and the women who were denied abortions had more serious health problems such as high blood pressure, seizures, than those who had abortions. 2 women who were denied abortions died from conditions related to their pregnancies.
Wow. And that's another thing too. There are there are women who suffer from conditions when they're pregnant, like high blood pressure. I mean, the list can go on.
Mhm.
It's like women can really suffer, and that's also the reason why some women, they suffer miscarriages when they're 3 to 4 months pregnant or so, or even in that 5-6 month grace period. It's rough out here for women, man.
Yeah, it
Seriously.
is. They said women with partners have found that 9 months after birth, they were nearly twice as likely to experience, of course, psychological distress as women with planned pregnancy. So it could go down a line of why it's. I don't know where this is going to go, but they suspect that you're just going to see a lot more deaths, a lot more women with, like I said, mental distress and issues. A lot of financial hardships. If we're not already feeling financial hardships, I don't know. I just wonder where we go from here with this, because even like you said, you guys mentioned this last week, they're going after contraceptives. It's almost like they're literally forcing women to have kids. They're not providing the resources to support, but they say, okay, we're pro-life.
Yeah.
But are we really pro-life, or are we just pro-birth? That is a question that I have.
You pro-ruling people, everything that they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder though, maybe it's a theory behind this that they're trying to, populate.
Yeah,
The more people we have, the more the economy runs, right?
They're trying to populate white people.
Yes.
They're getting, they're no longer the majority like they used to be.
Mhm.
And then, like you just said, looking at the numbers, if it continues on that trend, more black people will die and more of them will populate. And then, it'll get to the balance that they are trying to get.
And you know what they also say here, so I want this is my final point on the stats. They said folks are more likely to be criminalized, jailed, or to be prosecuted and imprisoned for managing their own abortions. So,
Yeah.
of course,
Literally forcing you. You don't do this, we don't have a kid, we take you to jail. Even
Right.
if you die, if you're dying trying to have a child, take you to jail if you die.
I fear also for the women who are in abusive relationships. because now they're saying, okay, well, perhaps we just deny, sex. So we all know it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's just happening with just men to women, but specifically. So I do fear for some of those women. What do you do in those situations? If I deny them sex, what can happen next? If I do have sex, I get pregnant. Well, I live in a state that bans it.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? And not even that. I heard a lot of comments from people who are pro-life that say, well, women should just close their legs and just be promiscuous. And I'm
People are so stupid.
I'm
I
like,
hate people.
that is not the only. Even if that is the case, so what? Let somebody make their own personal choice. However, there are even married couples who may have 4 children and say, okay, we don't want a 5th. We can't afford a 5th child. We don't have the resources. We're done. What do you say about those people? There's a lot of people that are sleeping around with the women that are sleeping around and married.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like you said, they don't even count for like rape and incest. So, it's like for Florida. Florida has the 15 weeks, but that doesn't count. And so if you've been raped, it doesn't apply for you. So, or like I said, or incest. So there's just so many other cases that happen other than just going around sleeping with people and just happening to get pregnant, or you're using abortion as a contraceptive, which is one of their many arguments. A lot of people say, well, those cases are like 0.1%. Okay, but they still, even if that is, I don't even know if that is the correct stat. That's what I was going to say. It doesn't make a difference. The fact that it is even a possible, you know what I mean? It's like that. What do you do in those cases? Because we know that it does happen. Whether it's 1% or not, it can happen.
Right.
So what do you do in that case? What do those women do? So I also fear that for the states that it is protected, and they also say they're trying to ban women from going to the states that it's protected to get the abortions. So it's like, I don't even know how they would know that. But, and for those who, let's say they're trying to make appointments to get abortions from different states, what about the women who are already in those states? Do they take priority? So I don't know. It's a, what do we say to women who just like, to do the best they can to protect themselves, but that's hard to regulate.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
is, because you still have some folks out here who just don't know how to take no for an answer.
Right, that's right. Let's say those DV cases.
Yeah.
And not, I won't be out here using condoms. I'm just saying, and some women don't like it either, but it's just.
There was a case where a 10-year-old had to get an abortion. Well, for one, a 10-year-old getting pregnant is clearly rape.
Right.
And she almost died. And then the doctor was like at a standstill. Because it's like, what do I do? Like, the law says if I help her, I could lose my practice.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, this child could possibly die. And also, this child has been raped.
So was that in a state that we banned it or had the restriction?
Florida.
So Florida, no. So I did read today.
Florida.
I did read today that Florida says that they will permit an abortion if the woman is at, like, her life is threatened. They will permit the abortion.
Tell it to that 10-year-old.
So
Now traumatizing that is for her
yeah, I know.
at the age of 10.
From everything, from the rape to the getting pregnant to her innocence, feel like it has been stripped.
Yo, you gotta be a sick ass motherfucker.
My bad. It wasn't Florida. It was Ohio. They told her to consider that an opportunity. This raped 10-year-old.
What?
Like they forced her to remain.
See, at that point, it's a lot of sick folks out there.
Was that recent?
Yeah, it was.
It's a lot of sick motherfuckers.
So I think, another thing too, like the LGBTQ community came out and they're like, okay, we know that now that this has happened, we're next. And they're very concerned. And there's just a lot of other, Clarence Thomas, he mentioned, like he said, that I heard about segregated schools and contraceptives and it's just everything. I feel like we're just going backwards. And
all bad.
all bad. So it's really difficult to say. 'Cause like I said, we can't regulate people's choices to have sex and what they do, but it just have women. Just be careful and just be mindful.
Facts.
Like I said, if you live in certain states, you
Seriously.
already know that there is now. It is literally states are already gunning. If I think for some like Texas, it was like already 30 days in. I don't know if they were having restrictions or ban, but just be mindful of your state laws and.
Our black women out there, man, stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. If you gotta be strapped up, and if a nigga don't know how to take no for an answer, well, protect yourself.
This is the same court, the Supreme Court. They ruled against like all kind of shit that's good. Like they ruled against this. They also ruled against clean air because they pretty much owned by like these massive corporations that are the polluters. And so like that kind of shit means more death, more cancer, more respiratory illnesses.
I think you talked about this last week. They need to do away with how the Supreme Court, you literally in office until you die.
Yeah. We are being ruled by
or you're appointed by the president.
Old people. We are being ruled and told what to do with fertile people by people that are no longer fertile. They're too fucking old.
So I don't like that. I think they should have a term like every other position.
We consider them the traditionalists, right?
Yeah. We also consider them old as fuck.
Right.
So yeah, that was just kind of some of the I really just want to touch on specifics, just like the maternal health.
Yes, for sure.
Psychological health that comes with the overturn of Roe versus Wade. So
thank you for giving your intake on
that.
Before we move to the next segment, though, can I just say a real quick quote from Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of fucked him too, but he's one of the people that wrote
he's one of the old folks.
I mean, he one of the people that wrote the Declaration of Independence. But he also said that back then that we should rewrite the Constitution like every 20 years, so that dead people and old as fuck people don't rule the society.
But the question is, to whom would rewrite the Constitution?
That's a good question. But as him being like a founding father, quote unquote, of this country, and for people to be so dead intent on this Constitution that was created, the Bill of Rights was created in 1776. You would think they would listen to him, but they don't want to listen to that part. But
that's even scary though, because I feel like now who's still in position of power to rewrite the Constitution, I don't even know if it's going to be any better.
I mean, the crazy part about it is that like, if things would have continued on the way that he said they should have, it probably wouldn't have gotten to a position where certain kinds of people would be in power because they wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
If we doing this every 20 years, this shit would have been set up. But to read the quote real quick, just to the mixness, it says, "I'm not an advocate for frequent changes in laws and constitutions, but laws and institutions must go hand in hand with the progress of the human mind. As that becomes more developed, more enlightened, as new discoveries are made, new truths discovered, and manners and opinions change with the change of circumstances, institutions must advance also to keep pace with the times. We might as well require a man to wear still the coat which fitted him when a boy, as civilized society to remain ever under the regimen of their barbarous ancestors." So he's like, I mean, you get the picture. We can't continue to listen to old people that are going to be outdated, but we somehow do, because all these old ass people, infertile ass people that run the Supreme Court that gotta freaking die out, we allow them to do shit like this, and we even allow people that's old as hell that keep falling asleep like Joe Byron to be president.
Just don't understand why people care so much about what people do in their personal lives. I really don't understand it.
Because this country isn't free.
I feel like it's definitely more about control than anything. And all these pro-lifers, I mean, are you guys going out in
They're not pro-life. They're not pro-life.
adopting these kids? Because y'all know the foster system is crazy.
We don't want them to adopt. Trust me. We don't want these
but they're not even doing that though. I was having some conversations with some pro-lifers, the Brandons. I had a conversation. shout out to Brandon.
No shout outs.
Ain't no shout outs from us.
But these people are not doing anything. Y'all not taking these kids into care. So I'm not particularly sure what are y'all saying? What are y'all just talking about?
Be there.
Right. Is it just supporting it just to say?
Literally, it's the idea. They support the idea more than they support the reality. Because once these kids get here, they literally do everything to make everything harder for them.
The problem is they don't even see what it's like for a kid to be like in a home where you have drug addicted parents, you're neglected, you're abandoned, there's no food in the house. Like
Okay,
they don't
pedophile
know
like
what.
that.
That's on them. They
Right,
gotta be like,
they
that's on
don't.
them.
Right, yeah, they like that's not my
So
life. My
different.
kid is good in their private schools and ain't got
Yeah.
like.
They gonna be like, you should have got pregnant. Or try not to. Or I tried to get rid of it. No.
Well, you should have closed your leg in the first place, and you would have gotten pregnant. You would have been in this situation. Y'all, I'm really sorry that this happened. To all the women, I deeply apologize, like on behalf of what United States of what embarrassment.
I'm
The
embarrassed, man.
divided states of embarrassment.
Yeah.
It's fucked up ass place.
Man, it definitely is.
So.
Moving on, carrying on, because those who look to try to, control things and have their way with women, the Pied Piper, Robert Kelly, he was sentenced to 30 years.
He was.
Some felt like it should have been more. Some felt like
I've
that was a
seen
bit much.
Way more people said it was a bit much.
I personally feel as though he needed more. He needed more, and the parents who allowed their child to get that close with him one-on-one in a hotel room, you're dumb, you need time. Those that were close to him and knew what he was doing and was okay with it, they need time as well.
I agree with that. I think it's shared responsibility across the board.
He's a sick individual. No kind of help that you even try to give this person will help him. This is who he is. That's what he loves. That's what he gets his rocks off on.
He's had his own trauma, though. Not excusing it.
Yeah, not excusing it, but at the end of the
Just
day,
saying.
like, that's what he enjoys. Yeah, he might go after somebody around his age, but the fulfillment of having a younger teenage woman, well, girl, because you're still a girl, but a teenager is just fulfilling for him.
For people who were saying he should have gotten like less time, it was somebody 20 years, a woman. I don't know what the case was, but they said she got less time for something she did that was more egregious than what R. Kelly
But she
did.
was also white. So what you expect?
I mean, no, we're not saying that we expect anything different. We're just saying like it kind of shows that if he were
It's fucked up.
a white,
It's fucked up.
about the
I mean, it's fucked up all around. Like the white, and it's like, well, because you're white, you did something so terrible.
Yes, I'm saying like
Yeah,
I think that it is messed up. I'm not again by we saying that and not supporting what R. Kelly did. I'm just saying to just be fair across the board. And I feel like it's more of an example, not example. It's more of what we always do. He's a black man. We expected the book to be thrown.
Of course.
Even though this was mounting evidence for decades now, so we can't.
They
say
knew this, so they just.
it's been going on for the 90s and probably even before then. But we do know it's been from the 90s extending to, well into the.
That nigga didn't deserve no mercy. Like, I mean, it's understood why he is the way that he is, but he's had far more than enough time to get some kind of help, and he's only put himself in position to be helped more to do the wild shit that he was doing.
Yeah.
Even being in there and recognizing that that's probably the reason why he's like this, him being like going through what he went through. It still doesn't make him remorseful for what he did. It still doesn't make him admit to what he did.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like he's been such denial for so
he doesn't even
long.
stop trying to do it.
This is almost like a norm for the way that he
Yeah.
perceives it. It's a norm for him. But I feel like he thought everything was okay.
You don't think he did nothing wrong?
He doesn't think he did anything.
That's
wrong.
why he's asking to be in there for the 30th they gave him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't imagine being like the child of a pedophile.
The child of a pedophile, so
Yeah,
like,
like you
Yeah.
No,
know,
your daddy is a wild.
Yeah.
yeah. You know what I'm saying, like,
I mean, you don't have. I mean, it sucks, but you're not sharing the same principles and beliefs.
It just makes you think.
But you still came from that man, so you'll be like, God damn, bro.
yeah. Because I mean, you gotta think that's gonna come down on you, folks. Oh, your pops ain't shit. That's a sick dude, and it's gonna. You rightfully so, like, you know he's a sick person, but because that's your pops, it's like, I gotta defend my dad. But also,
Some people know, I think they probably denounce their father too. Like, I mean,
I would hope, shit, I would hope so.
I'm putting my dad on, and I gotta agree with you.
Right.
So.
He definitely should have.
But he's on suicide watch. Not that he said that he was suicidal, but you know, just
That's cool.
standard practice.
To hell with him.
Oh, he did something.
Listen, I don't support, condone any man, any woman of that case too. Like, if you're a pedophile, you out here doing all this rapist, burn in hell. If you having suicidal thought, bye, good riddance. For real, good riddance.
So, that was that state.
He did.
Burn in hell.
And you know what? He
He
also, I
reached
think
out
they
a little
said that was just for New York, so he still has charges in California.
think
So I don't know if they run
too.
the time run consecutively or is it concurrent, but
Yeah, I'm not even sure
I
how
don't
that's
know if it
going
can be concurrent. For some states they don't have it like that. Some they might, but some states don't. They don't have it where you can do it concurrently, especially if it's from another state.
from another
They
state.
might be like, yeah, once you do that 30,
You
got
gotta bring it.
here.
Jesus. So
Right.
whatever.
Yes,
He
yes.
feel what? How old is God Kelly? He's 50.
50-something,
Yeah.
They
So
like 50 something.
it's over for him. Now I don't think he getting out. So no. I mean, I'm sure he probably trying to appeal it.
Good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. Moving on. You know what, man? Before we get into this though, there has been news that Nipsey Hussle's killer was set for trial, but he couldn't make it because he got his ass whooped. So shout out to the folks on the inside.
Shout out to the neighborhood.
Free them. Free them.
They got him good.
That's gonna keep happening too.
Facts. It's only gonna get worse for him. It's only gonna get worse for him.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's only gonna get worse. Next time, they really might try to beat him to death or really like kill him.
All that
Yeah.
for what? Shit, mess
Yeah.
your whole life up.
Right.
Now you get beat up in prison.
He's honestly really better off just hanging himself.
Y'all think they gonna keep him up?
Yeah. What?
I mean, he been there long enough and they ain't getting him, so I'm surprised it took this
It's
long.
because they haven't been able to get to him.
Right. Yeah.
They was able to get to him, and they
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah, free those men that whooped his ass.
Long live hustle.
Facts. Marathon continues. Moving on. Chris Breezy dropped his album titled Breezy.
Shout out to Breezy.
Some say this was one of his best projects that was dropped. Breezy spoke out.
Yes, he did.
Leah, what did Breezy say?
Breezy pretty much said he about to get on his gangster.
Okay.
Why? Because anything that's negative is going on. Y'all be eating it up. But the minute he drop a project, crickets. He put the crickets emojis. He don't like it. He had the first week sales of like 72K, that is really low for Chris Brown release. And I know it's not about sales. I know people gonna have the argument, oh, he's a veteran, it's not about sales, but considering Drake dropped that god awful, honestly, never mind. And he still sold over 200K.
Gotta think of the music that he dropped. A lot of folks like that across the country.
I don't care.
We know.
But I don't care. But he was still. Huh?
If it ain't Yo-Matic,
She don't even know
Shut
bars
up.
off.
she don't even know the verse.
I don't
Right.
care.
She got the nerve.
What's track number 2 off Illmatic?
Because I had to.
I don't tell me. You tell
What's
me.
good to see? It was halftime. You know what? I gotta go. Who don't know that?
Yo, you're not a stan. You're a fraud.
I'm not remember album track. But what is this? See, I do want to know. It's not halftime, is it? I'm gonna look this up.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
yeah, Drake was still able to sell over 200K. It ain't about Drake. It's about Breezy, and he unfortunately only sold 72K. So that's pretty low. Disappointing.
Album was cool. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it's one of his best projects.
What didn't you like about it?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I feel as though it's just kind of like it's the same. I feel like it's the same thing. Like, Or are you really going to give us some? Because Chris really used to give us some R&B shit. Or are you really going to give us some R&B shit?
I
Yeah.
miss that Chris.
Like, you know, are you really going to give us some R&B shit? I know you added in like the rap as well. You're very versatile. You can do that. Also at the same time, it's just like, because I felt like when he was talking about it, when he was promoting, letting people know that he was dropping his album, he was making it more as though like he was bringing the R&B
So you
Chris back.
guys don't think the controversy had something to do? The recent controversy, guys, you know, and we're going back from him being a colorist to the
Recent
allegation.
controversy.
Right. What
He
recent
had
controversy? allegations,
allegations, even though it was proven, you know, he still had allegations. Just all that.
Nah, I don't think it had
You don't
anything
think
to
so? What
do
do you
with that.
guys think?
That's
it
the
had?
only recent thing I could think of, which was proven.
People also call him a colorist. People
That was how long ago?
always been saying April Fool's 2019 good hair comment or nice hair comment. People been saying that well before.
I mean, that's
Not
could.
recent,
It could maybe.
No, but I was specifically just talking about that because I've seen women even still talk about being a colorist because Just Hilarious had made a comment about supporting him and somebody had said like they not supporting her no more because she's supporting the colorist. So women
It's
are still
always
holding on to
going to be
that.
somebody that's going to remember something from however long ago.
Oh yeah, we don't forget.
Niggas don't forget. Niggas don't forgive either. So, I mean, I don't.
Now they think
I don't
that
think any
should-
kind of controversy made any difference to his record sales.
What do y'all think it had something? I mean, what you think had to do with the low record sale?
To be honest with you, I really don't know. I mean, maybe some folks was just like, all right, another long.
Some people said they didn't know he was dropping the album.
People knew. I mean, he was promoting it. Shit, they probably saw 24 songs and was like, damn, another long album. I don't want to listen to it. Like, I don't know. He got a deluxe dropping on the 8th, so I mean.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I initially thought when I listened to him, it wasn't no skips on the album. Like, you know, like I listened to the joint all the way through, and I liked every single song. Was it like classic R&B songs in there? No. I don't even think that's what he was going for. Listen to the whole album because it just sounds like a bunch of like just good songs. He's singing on there, but they sound like a lot of radio hits. Like, but aside from that,
Would you say off that album, could you pick a song or two that would age gracefully 10 years from now? Like how No Guidance will age gracefully 10 years from now.
I hate to compare it to No Guidance because that's such a classic song.
Right.
It's other classic songs that he got
Yeah.
that you still can even compare to No Guidance.
Like yo, that's still a classic, and that came out in like what?
That's a nostalgia classic though.
Huh?
That's a nostalgia classic.
Yeah.
One of those joints we remember the time.
But Chris hasn't been that
Versus
Chris
play
in
that.
so long.
But I mean, he has. It's just that his albums have so many songs. It's hard to pinpoint that because people ain't listening to that. Even though those albums with 1,000 songs end up selling well, which is ironic because this album had a smaller amount of songs than the last few. Like normally it was
Is
just
he just not the priority? Like people just not jacking with Chris Brown. He's
I don't
just
even
not
think
checking
that's.
with him
I
like
don't
that
even
no
think that's
more.
it. I really think it's singles. Like, do y'all know the singles off this album?
Did he really drop a single?
I think
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it was Iffy.
You see what I'm saying?
Iffy, and there was another one.
But do you have to? I mean, Drake. I mean, should we say Drake again? But he didn't
We
just
don't gotta
drop
bring up
the
Drake. We don't gotta bring
secret.
up Drake. We can bring up Chris and look at his older albums and look at the singles he's had off those. The fact that we knew that they were singles, and then when the album dropped, people listened to it.
I gotta bring
We
up
don't
Drake
really
because
singles.
do we have
We
people
don't gotta
have
bring up Drake.
why? Because people do
We don't
artists.
gotta bring
Some
up
artists
Drake
don't
'cause we
have to
talking about
have
Chris.
singles. To your point, there are some artists that don't have to have singles and still do decent numbers. So why does Chris have to have a single?
I'm not saying he has to have a single. I'm saying because 72
He probably just
72K
didn't
in the
have.
streaming era is not bad.
He probably just didn't have that
That.
single to where it was like, damn, I'm looking forward to the
you
album.
guys
Like,
are
like,
implying
when
that he
no, like
needs
when
to-
No Guidance came out.
So what you guys are
a
saying
summer
that-
bop to where like niggas was looking forward to the album.
All
And even-
artists need a leading
even to Drake, though.
single.
Even to Drake though, we not finna act like he don't use singles to sell records.
I'm not saying
Right.
he doesn't, but I'm just saying in this particular album, he just dropped it. It was no single, no nothing. Surprise album.
But that's why it did what it did because it was Drake and it just dropped. If Chris would have been like not even having a single off this album and
It
then
just
didn't
dropped.
tell people and then dropped,
He probably
album
did
sales
worse.
would have probably it probably would have been better.
I think it would have been worse.
Because people would be like, what the fuck, Chris Brown got some new music? They would have been
I don't
listening.
think so. I just don't think people just checking for Chris like that right now.
I don't know
don't.
how you
I
can
think
say it
would've
about
been
somebody
more.
like Chris that you
I
can say it
will.
about Chris.
Say what I will about Drake. I mean, I'm not really feeling his music recently. It's Drake.
Recently. Have you ever felt this music? That's another conversation.
Yeah, not.
Right.
I didn't like.
I don't think
see-
I've ever heard you say anything good about Drake.
No, that's not. No, I've liked Drake up until like recently. I didn't. The only two things y'all said I didn't like is CLB in this album.
I don't remember you
I
saying
haven't said
anything good about
anything.
Scorpion.
That's okay.
I don't think.
But to be fair,
I don't think I've ever heard you say
criticism,
anything
though.
good about Drake's music.
You guys gotta be fair though.
To be honest.
Y'all, I feel like y'all be scary to critique artists. Like it's
You
cool.
scared to critique.
Because honestly, Nevermind wasn't good, y'all.
Okay.
CLB wasn't good.
I know a lot of people that like house
Who
music
said-
and know
who
more
said
about
that
that kind
the
of
album
music
was
than
good,
any of us, and they said
Did you say it was good? I'm trying to go
None of us
back.
said it was good. I said I like 4 tracks off the album. He had 14
Right, you
tracks
did
on
say
there. Said I like 4 of them.
But then y'all also was making excuses like, oh, it's Drake and he can try. Well,
We-
just
we
say
wasn't
what it
making-
is. It's just trash. It's okay to say it. It's okay.
But the thing is that we would say if it's a good album or if it's not, but we could also say because it's Drake, he has
It doesn't
that.
excuse it though.
It's
Like,
not an excuse, but what we're like you're missing it. What we're saying is that because he has a wide variety of a fan base. So even to us, if we don't like it, somebody else
No,
is
I'm not
gonna
saying
like it.
I'm not disagreeing
So
with
having-
that.
so just what I was saying.
So having that wide variety of a fan base, he can do that. So he's still
No,
gonna
I'm
sell.
not saying that. I'm not
I was
disagreeing that. We
saying-
just talking about the album itself. And in my opinion, it wasn't good. And y'all just be saying
And
shit.
I was
be
saying
good.
that I was saying that I don't even trust my own opinion on that because that's not my kind of music. To the people that I know that like that kind of music, I haven't heard any of them say anything bad about
I've heard better house music. I actually listen to
it.
house
Okay,
music.
I'm sure you have.
It
We've
just
all
wasn't
heard better,
that.
whatever.
Yo,
kind
you
of music
just
from that. It's
said
not a-
4 songs sound like one whole song. How was that
But
good?
that's not always a bad thing.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I don't understand. But anyway, to Chris, I personally feel like people just not.
Have you ever heard a
checking
house
out
music
that.
set?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
Moving on. So, what really had everyone buzzing,
Yeah.
which I don't understand why, but I guess of course he had to let folks know. Let folks know. He had to remind.
I think he about to drop something.
I feel like he had to remind the folks why they call him USHERRAYMOND. Usher Raymond had a Tiny Desk concert, and the shit was dope.
Yes, it was.
And we needed something good because we had 6-7 R&B artists on one stage looking foolish, except for Mario. Mario held it down. Shout out to Mario.
Mm-hmm.
For the other ones up there, y'all look crazy. Y'all sounded crazy. But Usher, he did a Tiny Desk, and he did the damn thing.
He did.
He did his thing.
And it had folks making some posts. Like, this is the man y'all really want to see go against Chris Breezy in the verses.
Some people say yes.
This is the man that has some fucking classics.
A lot of people say yeah.
He has some classics.
Chris got a fan base.
He does.
Don't never forget that.
Right. Chris does have a fan base.
We don't know some of the songs. When he seen that mock verses.
But
I know
Usher-
some of the songs.
I'm not trusting no.
Usher did the damn thing, and I'm kind of upset because the Tiny Desk concert was in DC, and I knew nothing about it.
I'm gonna go show.
I don't think those.
If I knew, I'd have went.
I don't think those joints is like real concerts like that though. Like the way that I heard the Tiny Desk get described by T-Pain, because he has a classic.
Oh yeah, because he did one, yeah.
He did an interview when he was talking about it. He said when you go in the spot that they have it at, it's just like the people that like work there, and they just like at their desk, so you just kind of in your area singing.
Oh, for real?
And he was like, yeah. So he was like, when he was singing, it was just him, and he didn't even have background people like Usher. So he was like, it's really quiet in there. So he was like, when he started singing, and he was just like kind of closing his eyes, doing this thing. Then he looked up, and everybody was just like standing up over their desk, just tuned in, and they was like clapping. Oh my god! So he was like, he didn't know that he killed it.
Damn.
So Usher was probably in there like, I'm gonna just rock out with my people because it's what they do.
First
So-
of all, I think it's absolutely crazy that people are saying that Chris Brown and Usher need to have a versus. But it's even more ridiculous that people's comparing CD to Michael Jackson. That's a whole nother discussion.
It's ridiculous to compare anybody to
It really is.
So that's not that much of a discussion. We can start and end that discussion right there.
I mean, Chris Brown kind of ended that. I think he kind of mentions he had something to say about it on the Drink Champs interview.
Yeah.
Like, stop comparing anybody to Mike.
Facts.
Not even
But yeah, Usher, Chris Brown.
Usher, he did the damn thing.
See, we can agree on that.
He did
That
the
was
damn
actually
thing.
good.
That was a good Tiny Desk.
See, I definitely give credit where it's
concert.
due. Usher did his damn thing.
Yeah, he killed that shit.
He killed it.
He killed it.
You can tell that
I
Usher
feel
has,
like-
he still very much takes his craft very
Oh, yeah.
seriously.
For sure.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people probably streamed Superstar a lot over the weekend.
They did. I'm sure they did.
I'm sure
Freaking me.
Superstar had. No, it wasn't for that.
What was it for?
Confessions. We know you don't know much when it comes to that.
What?
The song, Confessions.
Yeah, but what about the song? Like, I feel like the
That's why-
Superstar, they was like, had the memes going around. That's
No.
why. Alright, so explain, what are you talking about?
I'm telling you, it's not because of Superstar. The meme where he's like, watch this. It's from
No, I know they
Confessions.
had another when he did his starting off. He had his little false.
Oh
song.
yeah. Oh yeah. He does.
Yeah.
They had some wild stuff going on.
That was from
Like, they had-
Superstar.
Yeah, they had one from Superstar, then they had the other one from Confessions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He
you
let
trying
his-
to
he
call
let
me
his
all that
background
ain't
singers-
what
Alright, my fault.
He let his
No,
background
no,
singers
no,
rock
no,
out.
no.
He let his background singers rock out
They
to
did.
part on Superstar.
Yeah,
That's
he
a lot of
had
people-
Eric Bellinger
Yeah.
and who was the
Vito.
yeah, one of his name, whatever.
He let them rock out though. They did their thing.
They definitely
They
did their
showed
thing.
up
Yeah,
for
very
the
good.
all the
That shit was
R&B.
dope.
But to the point that a lot of people were saying that Usher made is that like if you're gonna be an R&B singer, be an R&B singer.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go out there and be an R&B singer.
Mm-hmm.
But two, we're gonna bring back up Chris Brown. Is he being an R&B singer, which people are not feeling? If y'all saying that's the reason why.
Mm.
To the point you just made.
Chris Brown is an R&B singer.
Yeah, he ain't acting like it.
Yeah, gangsta R&B singer.
He said he about to go back to that.
I thought he was going back to that on this album.
Chris Brown is not only an R&B singer.
That is not. He can rap.
That's all it needs to be. Not even just rap, but like as far as making music that's not strictly R&B, like a little bit more upbeat, a little bit pop. That's what Chris Brown does too.
So can we
So-
say Drake is just not a rapper?
Why would we say he's not a rapper when he is?
No, people are saying that they say, especially with this recent album, saying, okay, y'all criticizing him when he's a pop star. So people are saying, it's not my words.
I'm gonna ask you and the people that
Don't
say
put
this.
you in there. I'm just repeating what the people said.
Don't repeat what the people say. It's no need to repeat.
This is the
Stuff
credit.
like-
This is
stuff
what they
like
saying.
We don't need to listen.
I said it was fair to critique that way because Drake is a rapper, but they
and
say
that's
he
why
not.
I'm saying to you and the people because you think
We ain't gonna keep bringing up Drake.
It ain't even about bringing up Drake. Does Drake rap?
Yes, he raps.
So why are we talking about his
So
Drake rap?
Drake, Chris sings. What are we saying? This is the analogy.
So why are we talking about his Chris Brown R&B singer too?
Because he is. Were you saying he's more than
So
just...
I'm saying that he is an R&B singer. He also does other things.
So Drake is a rapper.
Drake is
that
a
also-
rapper. He also does. That
Okay.
is such a simple statement. I don't know why people drag either one of them because of whatever reasons.
Because
We
people,
gotta stop doing
people, particularly, especially when they came out and they have put themselves in this particular category, and this is how they've been selling their music, particularly Chris Brown as an R&B artist
Okay.
and Drake as a rapper. So
Okay.
this is how
So
we.
does that mean that they only have to do that? That means they can't do anything else.
No, it's
Okay.
not. I mean, I'm not saying that, but this is how people kind of expect
And
it.
that's why the people, we don't need to listen to opinions like that. Is Snoop Dogg a rapper?
I say he's a rapper.
You say he's a rapper?
I mean, he is a rapper, but
Okay.
he's done other
He is a
things.
rapper. Right. So do we look at Snoop and be like, Snoop not a gospel artist, even though he's made gospel albums and won awards for him and all of that? Do we say not a rapper? Do we say a gospel artist? Do we,
No,
que-
we
do we
don't.
even question that? So we have no reason to question that for Chris Brown at all. For all the people out there. And for the
I
people
mean,
that
y'all
think
don't know.
it's
Drake is out there vibing out with the Backstreet Boys. Ain't that the good
fair.
look?
Okay. Drake is also rapping on tracks with Jay-Z.
I'm just saying, it's looking real ugly for him right now. Well, no, it's not because let's
Drake has also rapped on tracks with all of the best rappers out there. So we
That's
just not
very
gonna,
true.
we just not gonna do that.
Well, okay, to the point you said, if you're gonna be a singer, sing. If you're gonna be R&B, so can we say that
If
for
you're
Chris
gonna
Brown?
be an R&B singer, come on, man. I just answered that.
So then Omarion and the Marigos and all them, they are just strictly R&B.
Omarion can't. I mean,
Omarion
no, they
can't
not.
sing.
Omarion got pop songs. just
Okay,
like
so
Chris
my
Brown
point,
do.
what y'all saying is,
So does Mario.
if we just said you're going to be an R&B, do R&B, sing, right? Like
If you gonna sing your R&B, sing your R&B.
But what do they want to do that? What do they want to do?
Do Usher only got R&B songs? So
Even
all we
his,
have to
even
ask
his
everybody
pop songs, he's still singing though.
is he? He's singing. You ever heard this song, OMG?
Yeah, but that's
Come on, man.
yeah,
Don't do
okay,
that.
but
Don't do that.
no, that's like
Don't do
we really ain't gonna say Usher no pop star. Come on now.
We
wouldn't
might.
I wouldn't.
Usher would.
How you know?
Alright. This is why I'm
Moving
not having
on,
this
man.
conversation with you.
I don't
Moving
know.
on.
This is why I'm not having this conversation.
We're gonna give a congratulations to these two, and then we're moving on to our wind down. Congratulations are in order for Janae and Big Sean expecting their first child. So that's great because in his last album, what was that dropped in like 2019 or 2020?
Detroit 2.
Yeah, Detroit 2. You know, he talked about, I think it was like in the intro track, or one of the songs, he definitely talked about how he fell into a depression because of the miscarriage that had happened. So, you know, I'm praying for a successful birth with them expecting their first child. So congrats to them, man. So that's major. That's what's up.
Yeah, congratulations.
Hell yeah, man. Moving on. Let's get into this wind down, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So we are sipping on Carlo. What's that, Rossi? Look, I looked at this. I said that raspberry sangria. I wanted to try it.
You sure you wasn't drinking before you got here? Because I'm still trying to figure out how you struggle saying shoulder.
Yo, it be like that sometimes.
It be like that sometimes?
It be like that sometimes.
It's saying shoulder.
It be like that sometimes.
He's reading this thinking. How you blame them?
It's a typo.
It's a
I
type.
got it with a typo. Shut
How
up.
you can't read and it's a,
You got glasses. You got glasses, right?
I do.
Put your glasses in.
right? Why you not wearing them?
'Cause I don't
You were supposed to wear your
Put
glasses.
some goggles on, man.
What's wrong with you?
Go swimming. Take your time.
What is wrong with you?
Before we get in this line now, what are you sipping on? Let's see.
Oh, this is just a little bit of, you know, it's just a little sparkling water.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's apple, Fuji apple, and white tea.
All right. All
I
right.
put a little bit of lemon in there for detoxification.
Okay.
So what do we toasted to? 'Cause, you know, we haven't had toast in a long time.
Man, you know, toast to being black, toast to being excellent. And my birthday next week, y'all.
Okay.
Toast to that.
All right. All right. All right.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So this wine down, y'all, is a little different.
This is good.
Is it
I'm
good?
about
I want
to
to try it.
get a little Dr. Ike love tonight.
It is actually good.
Yeah.
Gosh, I thought you were thinking of something good. But
All
okay.
time.
Whatever. I pick a one. I think I picked decent wine. It's cheap, but I picked. You know, look, times is hot out here. But anyway, inflation is rough. We get a little excited. Gas going down just a little bit. But so for those who don't know, particularly with wine down, we usually do like a segment where it's just like advice with Streets and myself. But this one's a little bit different. It's more of a discussion tonight.
Don't separate
because-
us.
I
That's
said
what's wrong with
Streets
us.
and
We
myself.
We already have a division in America. Let's not divide. What we
Excuse me,
worked hard
y'all
for.
dividing me already talking about
Sit to
PWI, We are all collectively educated.
You divided
Even if I
yourself
mess up a word
when you
today.
went to the white man's school. You sipped in that too.
Big facts.
It don't matter. We black people together going to school. Okay? Some people didn't have the opportunity to go to college. No matter where you went. Okay? Shout out to all the black people who went to college. Okay? But there's a
Super shout out to the ones that went to HBCU.
Alright, super shout out. So we're just gonna have a discussion tonight because this has been trending on social media. It's the comedian Jasmin Brown. I think she goes by like Jazzy Turn Up or Toya
Watch
Turn Up.
Jazzy. Watch Jazzy.
Watch Jazzy. She was on. I think her name is Shan Booty. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Please, my jacking up. I apologize. But she was on. They had an interview, and she was just talking about her relationship, and she said her biggest flex is that how she treats her man, and we believe her man is Cam Newton. I don't know if they hasn't been confirmed, but
Who said we?
we as the people.
I don't know, so I'm not.
Okay, we as the people, not we here.
Oh, all right.
We as the people have said that
You
it
better
was.
believe it.
Why y'all always say what people believe or not? Why is that important? I mean, they could. I don't know, but yeah. So she was just saying that he's like spoiled rotten, and she in her interview she used the word submit or submission. So I'm gonna play. Wait, before I even play it, I wanted to say that the women specifically in the comments were dragging her, and I'll say why they were dragging her after I play it.
Okay.
All right.
What does a submissive woman do for her man? Everything. What does that mean? You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And I pretty much read his mind. So it's like if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, they're always like, oh, how are you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining. But my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you. It's your joy. It is my joy. You know, I love to see him eat the meal that I cook. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
What are you getting from all that you're giving? What are you asking for in return?
What does a submissive woman do
So,
for her man?
You know, the women had a lot to say about this, and it was all negative comments.
What did she get in return though? I think I wanted to.
Well, she shouldn't. I don't think. I didn't watch the full interview, but I'm not sure if she spoke about that. I don't think so. But it's to be assumed that there is a give and take in the relationship.
But I guess the question is, does she feel as happy as he does that she claims? Like, I feel good knowing that he goes to sleep peacefully.
Well, she said like love is her superpower. She's also mentioned about like just feeling good about doing the things.
Yeah,
that
she feels
does.
good about doing things for him, but does she, at the end of the day, does she feel good about what he does in return? Does she have to say anything to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, for her, she pretty much just says, like, he don't have to say anything. I know when he got to take a shit, and I got the toilet paper ready for him. That's pretty much what it is. Like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, I know what he's thinking before he even says it, and I already have it. So it's just like, is he doing the same thing in return?
I mean, we can be. I would assume so. It's to be assumed so, and I think that's what I was with some of the women in the comments, which
No,
is
it's
saying
not.
like.
You would hope so.
Okay, we will hope so. But I would. The reason why I do assume, in my personal belief, I don't think, regardless of who she is at heart, I don't think if she was getting any of these things in return, that she would do the things that she was doing. Me personally, that's what I assume. And I
But the
would
thing
stand
is that she finds joy and love and passion out of healing someone.
it doesn't mean that she's doing that for everybody. Just because she finds joy in that,
She said it.
she just said.
She had to come to terms that
She's a lover at heart.
she's a lover at heart. So she's
But I mean,
accepted that.
so am I. That doesn't mean I'm still doing that with everybody or being that way with everybody. I still
But
feel like you
that's
have
what
to
she's
develop.
gonna do because she accepted that fact. Like listening to the clip, I was listening to
No,
the
I
clip.
hear that, but I still think just because you describe yourself as this does not mean that everybody is getting that who you interact with or have some sort of relations with. Just because you are that person, I feel like I'm a lover at heart too, and I actually relate to that. I feel like love is definitely my superpower. But if I don't share that with like some, I don't know, I wouldn't give that to everybody. Just for the sake of that, I'm a healer. Like I don't correlate the two. Me personally, that's what I'm saying. I assume she's probably getting some of these things in return, or maybe it's because again, people love differently. So the way that her, I'm gonna say Cam just to say it, maybe loving her just maybe
We're not
in a
gonna
different.
say Cam.
Why
We
not?
don't know who it is.
All right, her man could be loving her differently, not the way that she's describing, but it doesn't mean that could be his give and take. So people are looking at it like, if he's not doing the same thing she's doing, then why is she doing it? But it doesn't have to be that way. Again, there's different love languages, you know. So I say what it is that works for them. But
I guess I'll just stick on her comment because I'd rather like hear from her side if like what she receiving in return, and then that way I can base it off of that because I don't want to assume anything or none of that. So I'll strictly speak on what it is that
she said about what she does.
Yeah.
Right, because the point of the wind down is that she was talking about submitting. Because there was other parts of the interview where she was mentioning what that looks like. And then a lot of women were saying, well, specifically what I've seen is if you're married, like, it's one thing if you're married, but if you're not married, you're giving all of these, like, wifely duties. No. You don't have ring. That's immediately what I've seen. Where's your ring? We don't see the ring. Is he going to commit to you? You're doing all these wifely things. You're submitting. And then, Aaron, who was the girl? Brittany, what's her name? She had something to say. Yeah. I actually want to play what she said, too, because she broke it down. So I'm going to play what she had to say.
Painfully obvious why men love the idea of a submissive woman. Submissive, per its definition, is ready to conform to the authority or will of others. The prefix sub means under. Think of subpar, submarine. In short, your world is under his. Now there seems to be a theme here. Good girls versus bad girls. A lock that can be opened with many keys is a broken lock. And if you can't submit to a man, you're gonna die alone. So my question to men is, do you want perfect Polly? A puppet? A prisoner? Or a partner who has no problem overtly challenging you? King treatment and knowing your partner's love languages, that's one thing. Being submissive is a whole nother thing. It's its own thing. If you find yourself abandoning your wants, needs, desires to make something work, I'm here to tell you, it was never a match to begin with.
This is coming from the person that had a baby with an NBA star while he was in college because she knew she was going to be getting money off of him.
All right, let's just stick to what she said, even if
I'm just saying.
What she said it raises some good points. Although I don't think that Jasmin was talking from a place of, I think she used the word out of context. Because how Brittany is describing to be submissive is correct. But I don't think Jazzy was just talking in that way. I think she was more like the king treatment, the catering to your man, showing that type of a love and affection. I think she was speaking from that way, would use the word being submissive.
Yeah, I think sometimes when people hear a lot of words from social media, they just go off of it and they don't know how to use it correctly.
But particularly to that question of a woman submitting to you, gentlemen, what do you guys think about that? So I particularly brought up this line now because not only she was getting heat, but because this is talking about men and a lot of, I don't know, I feel like women feel like we're beneath the men when we use the word being submissive. So I wanted to get your take on that.
I can only speak for myself when it comes to like dating and everything. Like I'm not that type of person to like want you to submit to me. I feel as though we gotta have like some type of equal balance. I might find somebody who balances me out. I might balance them out. You know, they might be used to being the one being in control of things while the guy is just like, okay, cool type of thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas I could be the one like, nah, we're not doing that. We're doing something else. And they're like, oh shit, okay. Or we talk about it like, all right, let's do this and then go do that later on or do that a different week. But I've never been one to like, yeah, you need to have this ready for me. You need to do this.
my dinner on the table by 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Okay, honey.
yeah, I've never been that type. You know, and I also like to cook for myself. Shout out to my pops because he used to have me in the kitchen all the time. Like, it was one thing he definitely told me. Like, you should never have to depend on a woman to ever cook for you.
Great.
So, so I've never really been that type to want a woman to submit, but I also don't want a woman to feel like she's weak either. It doesn't have any say so or anything. Like, communication is always going to be key. So I'd rather have that than a submissive woman. Like I'd rather us level each other out and we're both feeling that equal opportunity of love and care.
So before you go see, we had that conversation about like leading the household and feeling like one, like the man particularly leads and the woman kind of like allows him to lead. Will we define that as submitting?
I don't think we know. It's just more of like, it's more so traditional.
Okay, but if we were talking biblically, I'm not gonna quote because I don't know the Bible.
And we know you a heathen.
If we talk about this in like biblically and religious, like about being submissive to your husband.
I mean, back in the day, you probably had women like
You
that.
just said traditional, right? So this is where it's all stemming from.
But as far as traditional, I'm talking about like, if I'm in the crib, I'm not gonna have my wife take out the trash. I'm not gonna expect her to always do the dishes. Like, I'll do it. Even if I come home and she already has dinner ready, I'm not gonna sit there and expect her to clean up the dishes. Yo, you already did this, go relax. I'll do the dishes.
Yeah.
Go upstairs and get ready for bed. I'll get the kids together. Like, there's certain things that I'm not gonna sit back and just be like, okay, yeah, you handle all of this. I'm going to bed. I had a long day. I know you had a long day too. So I'm also gonna help out. I'm not just gonna sit around and let you do all this shit. That's how some women get burnt out.
Okay. See what you saying.
What you call me?
See what you saying.
You know what his name is?
Oh shoot! What's your name?
Esteban.
Esteban.
What's wrong with bro? Why she don't respect you?
Esteban Gustavo.
Gustavo? Am I pronouncing it right?
Gustavo.
Okay.
You know she can't read.
Recognize.
You know she
Shut
can't
up.
read, sir.
Recognize.
She should have wore her glasses.
So just for safe measure, can you repeat the question one more time?
What was the question? So, first, just your take on just.
I'm gonna give my take on her video.
Yes. About like women leading, women allowing men to lead the household. Wouldn't that be a form of submitting?
In short, for that, yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, but this is what's practice, right? Because we talk about this, and a lot of women talk about allowing their husbands to lead, and that's not necessarily looked at as a bad thing. So, why would women also criticize Jasmin? Yes, what she was saying in a form, you know, I think again, using out of context, but she was saying about being submissive.
I don't even think she used it out of context. So, first thing I want to say is the internet thing happened.
What's the internet thing?
The internet thing is whenever anybody says anything on the internet, the entire internet has to now create think pieces based off of a short snippet, a clip of what somebody said.
Mm-hmm.
And now because of like what often happens too is a lot of what wasn't said in that clip, they assume either was never going to be said or they assume it wasn't true or they got I don't know, they just be needing more, but then they try to act like because they didn't get more. And a lot of it is extremely specific because it'll be like, well, I think, and then she didn't say this, so what I think, so I'm gonna just say what the internet thing happened.
Right.
And you know, oftentimes it's not necessary. You know, the woman said what she said. Brittany Renner, and she put up the definition. Y'all know I like pulling up definitions. Then she also tried to break down the etymology and just pulled the definition of the word sub as if that means something negative. Now, so what she said, I get what she said. She's saying that she understands how she is as a person, and she is like a lover. Like she likes to cater to her man. She likes to do things, in short, that she feels like her man does. Now, again, you know, like, we're not gonna assume, but like so after class said, we would hope that she's not doing this in vain. Like, whoever she's doing this for, they're doing something that they also like in return, and then doing something for her that she also likes, whatever. I would hope so. I also wouldn't think that. I would also hope that, you know, that allows her to be who she is. Like, I think that's part of the reason they got her to this point too. Like, somebody somewhere is, you know, holding it down for her. Whether it's camping, they did see her in camping out, and that's cool. What was I saying? Was you about to say something?
Yeah, no, I was looking at some of the comments, and one said, "Boy, y'all sound trigger. I hope it's reciprocated in quotes. Head asses. Let a woman flourish in her femininity. She wouldn't be talking like this if she wasn't taken care of." Which is why I said I assume that. Because I don't think she would if she wasn't.
We can assume that. We can hope for that. You know, either way it goes. That's her saying that that's who she is. That's who she is. And you know, if a person is allowing her to be that, you know, we would hope that, you know, that's just being reciprocated as such. Now, to go to what was I just saying? Shorty Bridgman, like, she made it. I'll give you an example of why I don't fully agree with her statement, because I think that she did the internet thing too. She took that and then took a word and then focused on this word and then used a negative connotation to that word, because the word does have a negative connotation. And now she's
for the modern day woman, it absolutely does.
And so the thing about it is that usually before I take a word for the connotation and how it's used, I usually look at the context. The context of that word doesn't apply to the negative connotation of the word submissive. Yeah. So therefore, I didn't even validate what she said, because it's like, okay, I'll give another example just on like submitting, because I feel like that's a case by case thing. I don't think that it's just like, oh, these two people are in a relationship and she spends all of her time just submitting. It's just like in certain situations, it'll allow for certain things. You both got to submit here and there or whatever in some kind of way, because submissive isn't always a negative thing. I'll give you an example. Kid 6, you're Greek. You know what deference is. You had to submit when deference, like when you was getting down or even took deference. That's a submissive thing sometimes. Like in one of your profiles is like, nigga, we at the cookout or something like that. I got deference over you. I'm getting some food before you get some food.
Yeah.
You're gonna respect it.
But also too, I think like even like going through all of that too, it's just like initially while I'm there, I'm gonna make sure they're good. Like even if they've been there before me, yo, y'all need anything? What you need? You good? Yeah, I'm good, man. Go have yourself a good time, whatever. All right, cool. Just let me know if you need anything.
Right, and you see how that's not a bad thing. Yeah. And that's still submitting in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing. That's what I'm saying for her. It's not like she waiting handed.
But I think in that case, like we're talking about people who are Greek who are submitting. It should
but before you jump too deep into that, I'm not trying to turn this into a conversation about Greek. I'm just showing how submitting is not always a bad thing.
I was going to make a point. If it's not, if you are getting a desired outcome and you have to submit.
Right.
But
and like he just said, like
that's
part of the
desired.
that
with the Greek.
Yeah. And like he just said, part of his desired outcome would be like he looking out for the big bros. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's cool with me. Like it's pleasing.
But
me.
I think
for her, the same thing.
And like you said, I think submitting without a favorable outcome for you, I think that's where the negative comes from.
But I also feel like that's something that's just projected, because who's saying that that's what's happening?
That's what I'm saying. So it kind of goes into people have so much to say, but we really do not know what's happening in this relationship.
That's why I said the internet did the internet
thing.
But
I really want to know
the other part too, before you finish, of the internet doing the internet thing is anytime a woman says something favorable towards men, it has to be like harshly criticized.
Because they feel like men, y'all
don't deserve anything, and it's just
from the world, and it's all
not even this.
The man's world.
I just feel like men don't deserve anything good, even though.
No, women. I think women are saying
deserve something good. You kind of gotta have a man that also for that to work. But
I hear people, some of the women were saying like he's still going to cheat. Like they just feel like
you see what I'm saying?
Are, like,
the internet is doing this. That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
It's the internet doing the internet thing. All of that shit is the bullshit that you just gotta be like, That's all y'all doing this internet shit. Forget all that and just whatever.
So I
Whatever.
think people's criticism, besides just the word submitting and what, like you said, it has that negative connotation with it, is more so like what you were talking about, like, is it in return? And again, people don't know that, for number one. But number two, I really don't think what she said was really that bad. She said, like, she scratches his back till he goes to sleep. She packs his bag.
It's a lot of people that like to do
Yo,
stuff.
it's certain things that like
I feel like that's one catering. I don't think anything that's submitting.
people have to understand what you might do in a relationship, whether you feel like a nigga is not deserving because that's what you might mentally feel, doesn't mean the next woman gotta feel the same way. You're just miserable. You probably got shitted on a few times. You probably did some dirt on your own, but it's just
Tristan
like,
Thompson is not deserving of any of that.
okay.
I'm just gonna put out there. Some men are not deserving.
Yeah, there are some people out there that's not deserving of it.
We gonna not do that.
But also at the same time, like, there are things that men and women get a pleasure out of when it comes to dating someone. They're interested in them. They're in love with them. They want to do things to keep them happy. That gives them pleasure. Why? Because that's their happiness. I want to see them happy. They do this for me. I love that. They make me happy. They do, like, people have different love languages to where I'm going to do this, I'm going to make you happy. I see that it makes you happy. And it could be the simplest thing. The simplest thing.
Yeah, I don't think she said any. I mean, well, no, she did. She did, because it was mentioning about, doing certain sexual positions that she doesn't like or uncomfortable with, but she does it because her man
Name those
likes
sexual
it.
positions. Name them.
It's so annoying.
Name them.
Anal sex.
Okay.
And she mentioned riding.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with some of y'all women.
Oh
I'ma
God!
skip
Can
on
we
that shit.
not get off
No,
tangent?
this is no.
Oh
You
Lord!
gotta make a quick
That's why you laughing.
Let
You already knew where you going with this.
me just.
Is this Kid 6 a Dr. I Love?
This is Kid 6.
Now?
This is
Oh,
Kid
Lord,
6.
Jesus.
Alright, for women out there who say she don't like riding dick, look, y'all need to quit thinking riding dick for 5 seconds is doing something. You want to stay your ass on top and bounce that shit until we get the fulfillment that we need, that we looking for, alright? We love that shit. If you know how to do it, that's why y'all be knowing how to do shit, because you don't want to keep going. Y'all always, I don't like riding dick.
You say how else they gonna learn, right?
Y'all don't see us going like, oh, I don't like hitting it from the back, or I don't like doing it missionary. Nah, we do it because that's what you like. So quit telling us you don't like riding dick. Now,
No. Since you're talking about it, I'm gonna speak up for the women. So what if she don't like it? And that's the point they getting on Jasmin. Like, she don't like it, so she shouldn't have
you
to
had
do
to say?
it.
I thought you was about to say something.
No,
Like I said,
that's something. That's to the point what
that
we're
was
talking
Kid
about.
6. Now we're back to Dr. Ike.
No, we're going back. That's the point what we're talking about.
Please
They're
don't
saying
raise your
she
voice.
is
We are right
submitting
We're right here.
because she don't like these positions,
You
and
know
she's
what?
doing it
You know
because her
what?
man like it.
I think that part right there is the part that really got people the most triggered, because she's talking about doing something that she's saying she doesn't necessarily like to do for the sake of her
Pleasing
man.
her man. Now, what do y'all
And
think
then I
about
feel like
that?
everybody jumped on that and like submitting is just doing a whole bunch of shit that you don't want to do and your man want to do. And it's hell no to that. Get the hell out of here.
We
with
do
that.
shit that we don't want
Fuck
to do with
niggas.
y'all, but we do it anyway.
So what y'all saying that it's cool to submit at times? You said, see, at times it causes
That's it.
forbid submissions on both ends.
Like I said,
Yo, everybody, you going to do things in a relationship that
you don't like to
you
do,
don't
though?
like doing, but you going to do it because that is your person's happiness. So, for example, if you're dating somebody who loves sports, they love football games, you might not know a
Right,
lick
you're
about
talking
football.
about football versus hitting that.
I'm talking, but it's something that the person likes. So if he like, if he like getting his dick
rolled,
rolled,
according
then
to her,
she gonna do that.
she said it hurts.
All right, well, she better lube that shit up or
What are you
something.
talking about? What? This is what we're saying. So is that cool that you gotta go through pain because you want to please your man? Where are the boundaries?
Pain and pleasure. That's what comes with love.
See, that's how it does that shit.
Yo,
You laughing?
you laughing too.
You laugh first.
Really think about it. When you're in love with somebody, you're gonna go through trials and tribulations. Pain is definitely in love. Pleasure is also in love, right? You love the fact that you can pleasure your man.
So if your woman got got bad toes and she like you to suck them, you gonna suck them?
No.
No. What are you talking about? It was do stuff for your partner and submit. Nah. Well, okay. Well, this.
No, because I feel as though she know her feet ugly, so she's gonna be the type of person to be like,
what?
she's gonna tell me
Your
like,
man
no,
know the man know that it hurts.
But
Ain't
she'll
no sex.
also communicate like, no, I'm not a foot person, so I don't.
No.
touch my
She
feet.
is very much
I'm
a
cool
foot
with that,
person.
but I will also address it like, I would even tell her like, bro, put some socks on.
What are you talking? No. We're saying just like you
What
said,
you
put
saying?
some lube on it. You better blindfold him and suck them toes.
But she's not gonna ask me to if she knows she's not a foot person.
She said she is a foot person.
Who,
You know her
she-
foot.
she-
No,
did
not
she
her.
say-
I'm saying that in my example. Your girl is a foot person. Her feet
You can't
ugly.
speak for her because she already told me she's not a foot person. So therefore, the fuck she don't
You
like.
can't tell people to lube it because no, they gotta lube it. You gotta suck ugly toes.
Well,
That's how it works.
She
You
ain't
gotta
tell
do
me
it pain and
She
pleasure,
didn't
right?
tell me to. So
Carlton, would you? So we talking about we gotta submit sometimes. If your chick got ugly feet, if she likes her feet sucked, you gonna suck them?
Man, look.
So y'all talking about
Look,
Jasmin over
listen,
here,
'cause listen.
lubing it up.
I didn't. What you mean, y'all?
Oh, kissing by something, right?
Listen,
You got it
I'm
back.
just saying I didn't say nothing yet. You keep saying y'all like, damn.
I'm sorry, Aspen. Go ahead.
You laughing, we laughing. Trying to throw me smooth. Listen. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right?
What you saying? You're not off the hook with the question, though. You know that, right?
I'm finna directly answer your question.
Oh, okay.
I'm finna directly answer your question.
Okay.
Based on what she's saying, right? If we're hopeful that she's getting something in return, right? Listen, if we're hopeful that she's getting something in return for what she want, like, meaning like if she's willing to do all of this stuff, even if it's stuff that she doesn't necessarily like, I'm sure there's still a red line where it's like some stuff that she might still be like, hell no, I don't care if you like it or not.
But where's the RC to that?
That's
where's the
on her
point
with
though?
that
She
line.
said it hurts when she.
Right. Listen, and I'm saying there's a red line where it's something somewhere she might be like, hell no to that. Clearly, on the other side of that red line is doing that, even though it's not pleasurable to her, like she's saying. We don't know how often she's doing it or whatever. She could have just been willing to try it because the guy wanted to try it, even though she didn't like it. We don't know the full extent of that. But also, like you said, she could also say no. But she's open to it. I guess she might have thought she was going to enjoy it. Maybe not. Maybe she thinks she could learn. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she just like.
But she knows it now, and he do it, and he likes it, and she don't.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe she's just like her enjoyment is strictly off of his enjoyment because some women are like that too. And some women are like that. Like I said, like I don't know. I know some women is like that. That's all I can say. In that situation, I guess if say her feet was ugly and she wanted the football player, to which we're not going to say his name because we are unsure if that's really an actual thing, to put them joints in her mouth.
Your mouth.
I'm not Cam Newton.
You caused it.
Right. I'm not Cam Newton. So, and if you wanted to do that, I would think that it would only be right.
Would you
I would
do
think
it?
that it would only be right.
So you would do it?
If I was Cam Newton.
Nah, you was Carlton. You had a chick with ugly feet, and she wanted you to suck them. Would you suck them? Yes.
And on the contrary, I'm doing something to her that she don't like.
Yeah.
Then that's gonna be a tough decision. That's gonna be a tough decision. That's gonna be a tough decision, bro. That's gonna be a tough decision. Like
you tried to bounce around.
No, I was trying to address it to what we were talking about.
Yeah, you
and
did.
And then we brought it back, and my answer was gonna be a tough because in all fairness, I would damn near have to, right?
To my right, but to
the
my
point.
point.
Since she's making it about me now, in Kid 6 now, is you
Yeah.
sucking toes? Fuck you, me.
Yeah.
First, to answer your question, I'm not about that. I'm not gonna have anal sex if it hurts, not to please my man.
So
That's
we
what
just
I'm
asked you.
submitting for
We
her.
just asked you if you
No,
would suck
hell
toes.
no.
Are you
But-
going
I'm
to
not
suck
sucking no
no.
toes.
No. Hell no. Because we gonna ask you the question the way that you asked it to us. If
I'm saying
he
no.
if he was doing something for you that he doesn't necessarily like, but he was doing it for you, and you knew he didn't like it, and you still wanted him to do it, and he was doing
You
it.
sucking toes?
And then if he was like, damn,
Yeah.
I just fucking came out of playoffs. The Panthers just lost in the playoffs. I need you to suck this toe. or something like that.
Nah, I'm gonna have to be like, babe, I gotta do something else. I'm like, I'm not after
See
the
what I'm saying?
playoffs.
You see what I'm saying?
Not after the playoffs. Not after that.
No.
Nah.
What about regular season? Week 2.
Week 2, not week 16. I might could do week 2.
Week 18 or something like that.
But the point to that.
Turns gonna be turned over. Overtime.
Me personally, y'all, again, I do think there needs to be some boundaries to submitting. When you do things that you don't want to do, it goes against your moral code or your values or your beliefs. That's where I think the boundary needs to come. I'm not doing something that's not pleasurable to me just to please him. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
For certain other things, it has to be certain things. Certain things I probably can compromise on, but if anal sex is really painful for me, why would he even want me to even keep doing that? If I'm hurting, number one, that shouldn't be pleasurable for him.
Mm.
So the fact that her man, whoever he is still doing that even though she doesn't like it, that's weird to me. Me personally, I don't think that people like to do things. If my man doesn't like to do something, I know he doesn't like sucking toes, I wouldn't ask him to do that.
You're right. But that ain't how you pose the question to me.
No, I posed the question to make the point of, like, submitting comes with some boundaries. But what she was talking about, I don't think there's anything wrong with what she was saying.
Yeah.
And I don't really look at that as submitting. But to the
I think
anal
the
sex
boundaries-
part, that is submitting. And I
So-
don't necessarily think that's okay.
So
Yeah.
remember we had a conversation similar to this about, it was one of these reality show couples or something like that. And I was like, people kind of know what they can and can't do, or they pretty much know the extent to things that they will or won't do, like with their partner. Meaning, like, it might be a guy out there that's like, yeah, I want my girl to do stuff that she wouldn't necessarily want to do just because I wanted to do it. But if it was in reverse for me, it was what's the joint? What's the joint? The phone number was locked up, and they asked him. I don't know if they said if he would wait for the girl. She was locked up.
Yeah.
And
And
right.
yeah.
And they asked if he would wait for her or something like that, and he was like, nah. And I was like, it's crazy because he know that. He know that she would wait. That's why he got her. And she know that she would wait. That's why she's staying with him. And it's like, but also the reality is that she would never get locked up, and he wouldn't ever.
Right.
So stuff like that is like one of them anomalies that might happen. Like he might have just found him the one where he like she'll do stuff that she don't necessarily like just because I like to do it, and I won't ever really be in that position because she know.
But see, here's my thing. See, I do think that again, there's boundaries to it. Like you said, I don't necessarily like sports. My man likes it. I can watch a football game, and that's cool. Like I think there's some compromising to that where you can submit.
I think it's still compromised. I'm just saying the terms to which that compromise are created. It differs upon both people. Like if we know that she more willing to do some shit that she don't want to do because he like to do it, but we also know that he wouldn't do the same in return. But we also know that she wouldn't even be the kind of person to put him in that position because her pleasure is in his pleasure.
Right.
So she might be like, if my pleasure is in your pleasure and you want to do something to me that I don't really like, I'm still let you do it. But also, if my pleasure is in your pleasure and I want you to do something to me that you don't like, you not enjoying that isn't going to make me enjoy it, even though I would like it to happen.
But I
So
guess
it's
for
like,
her, she
it's one of them
realizes
crazy situations.
she's doing it even though she really doesn't enjoy anal sex because he does. She's just doing it, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. So to say with this wind down, I do think that again we talked about you guys. Whatever happens in people's relationship, what worked for them is okay. I think the things that she mentioned wasn't really like, in my opinion, what submitting looks like other than the anal sex part and riding. But I felt like it was more catering to. Do I feel like there should be certain boundaries to submitting, quote unquote? Yes. I don't think again that if it goes against your own morals and values and beliefs and interests, and you always putting that person ahead of you, you feel like you lost yourself in that individual. No. In my personal opinion, it may work for somebody else in their relationship, but for me personally, So, but for her, I think they were kind of dragging her unnecessarily, and I liked her message overall, and I think there's nothing wrong with catering to your partner. I think everyone should have that. You know, should it be happen in both ways? Yes.
Listen, these is words straight from Esteban Gustavo. It's always somebody for somebody. Her somebody would hopefully be somebody that won't take advantage of the fact that she's such a pleaser, and that's how she likes to be. And they would also give her what she likes in return too.
I want to say this last thing before we close out the wine now. Ladies need to understand, husbands cheat too. So you're talking about you doing all this, but you don't have a ring.
Yeah. People
Husbands
just
cheat
wanna,
every day, B.
the internet is gonna
That's a
imitate.
fact. Yeah.
So I need people to get that commitment. Doesn't look it's not this one dimensional. Oh, we just have to have a ring. Commitment can be defined in all different types of ways.
And I'm gonna say this before we close out. This
Okay,
is coming
sounds
from
stupid.
Dr. Ike Love.
Okay.
Ladies, you ain't slick. Ride that dick.
So then suck them toes then, ugly or not.
Nah. Anyway, listen. This was episode 94. This was our wind down. It's your big dog K6, Chi-Town's finest, Carlton, your dig, your girlie, aka the therapist, and always holding things down behind the scenes. Your girl so effing classy, aka so effing glassy, aka so effing crafty. You ain't even hold it down and like give her any of the drink. I had to hand it to her.
I'm
You ain't
sorry,
care.
love.
Until next time, we out of here.
In the mix, in the mix, in the mix, Carlton Lee.